My guy, what is good?
What's happening?
Yo, thank you so much for making this drive down.
Of course.
I was expecting a virtual. I was like, man, he's all the way in Dallas. I was like, we'll do a virtual, no big deal. I told him, I was like, hey, this episode is going to be virtual. He's like, all right, cool. And then you were like, nah, pulling through.
I gotta pull up, man.
God.
That's how you support, man. You gotta pull up in person if you really supporting.
Hey.
Of course. And you a real one for wearing that too for the interview.
That, dude.
For sure.
I appreciate that. Oh, this is my fucking dude. So when I got this, fucking the first day, hot sauce all over this bitch. I was like, no.
You should have told me, bro. I'd have sent you another one.
Nah, I cleaned it. We're good. We're good. We're good. I didn't want to do that. Nah, I paid for that bitch. But yeah, dude. I feel like I'm interviewing somebody off Narcos.
Oh, for sure. You talking about the ski mask? Yeah, man. You know I'm extra out when it comes to anything fashion, anything Supreme, Bape, any of that. I'm extra out with it.
Dude.
So I was like, man. First I was like, I asked the homie. I said, hey, bro, should I take the ski mask off for the interview? He said, nah, bro, wear that. That's hard.
I love
wear
it.
That.
Hey, I love it. I respect it, dude. It's a character. Hey, man. It's gonna make a good promo pic.
For sure.
Hell yeah, dude. What you been up to?
Man, just chilling, man. Living life. Honestly, bro. Like, I'm out in Dallas. So really it's just like a tech boom right now out there. So that's really just what I'm into, working in technology, man. I found a love for it and I just kind of been dedicated to it. So that's kind of like my bread and butter, and then everything else is just extra side hustles and stuff like that. So that's really just what I've been focusing on.
So tell the people who don't know you, because the majority of the people will not know you.
Okay.
Tell the people who you are. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, my name's Norman. Most people don't call me Norman. Everybody call me Norm C, something like that. But yeah, man, I grew up, Killeen, Texas. That's how we met. Went to school together and everything. Originally was born overseas in Germany. Okay. Came back to the States because of military. Went from Philly to Texas. For the most part, spent most of my life down there. Went to Killeen High in Killeen. Graduated. Went to UNT, ended up graduating, get my degree from there, and now, man, I'm just grown, living that 9-to-5 hustle and trying to figure out a way out of it, man, on the side hustling.
I think you're well on your way.
Oh,
for one, sure. The clothing, man, the clothing is dope.
For sure, I appreciate that.
So we're definitely gonna talk about that.
For sure,
the clothing band's dope, dude. The EP, that shit slaps
hard.
Bro,
I rock with that.
I listen to that a lot.
I rock with that.
I listen to that a lot, dude. That shit slaps. When I heard it, I was like, ooh, I know this dude.
Nah, for real.
Every time I wear the shirt, over the last probably about 4 or 5 months, getting this set up and the whole 9 yards, I've been big on, I really don't buy anything other than t-shirts that either people make or that supports their brand at this point. Like, then that's all I try to wear at this point.
And that's real.
Yeah, I was telling Deontay and Dane today, I was like, bro, people around my apartment probably think I got like 10 of y'all shirts. I wear that bitch so much. I'm always rocking it.
But that's for real. But honestly, man, that's the biggest thing. Like, with a lot of people who are like underground brands and stuff like that, when you finally see that your brand is bringing you monetary profit, you know what I mean? Like, it's bringing you money in, then you feel like you're actually accomplishing something. So I think, like, anybody who thinks like, oh, I want to support small brands, man, keep doing that, because that might be the push to make somebody follow their dreams and keep going until they are a big brand. So absolutely, I appreciate anybody that buys any of my product, you know what I mean, or even downloads or listens to my music, because it's a million other people you could be listening to. It's so true. You buy my stuff or even listen to my stuff, man, I appreciate it, man.
That's
love.
That's what it's all about. Like, why wouldn't you? Like,
for sure.
Why wouldn't you? We talk about this all the time. Why wouldn't you just like it? Just retweet, just share it. Like, it's not that hard. It takes literally 1 second.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you don't do that kind of stuff, it's just, what are you dealing with inside on your own personal level that makes you that way? Because you should want to see each and every one of your people in your circle eat.
Sometimes it's tough though, man. I feel like sometimes for some people, they look at what other people are doing and they feel like they should be doing that or they want to do that. So sometimes it's hard, man. Sometimes you blinded because you wish you could do what somebody else is doing and you're not. And instead of doing it, you feel like, oh, I'm not going to support them because that should be me, or I want to be doing that craft that they're doing, whatever it is. But man, you always got to support everybody, bro. Like, no matter what it is, you never know who you might know. So, you know, spreading love to someone else might get reciprocated. And even if it doesn't, man, it's just good to spread love to people, man. Yeah, even if it doesn't get reciprocated, but the universe will reciprocate to those who do good to others. That's it right there.
That's it right there. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you retweet somebody's stuff and then they don't retweet yours. It's not that serious. Yeah. They either maybe didn't see it. I mean, there's so many different things, right?
For sure.
It's just all about just spreading positivity, like you said. If you stay on the right path long enough, there's no way it can't come around for you.
Always.
There's no way.
Always. I've seen so many people. It's like that old saying, you catch more bees with honey. Mm-hmm. It's the truth. It's like when you're good and you're helpful and you're loving to the universe, man, the universe always bring it back to you, man. Yeah. So that's why I had to start learning, like, don't always count the favors that people do for you in comparison to the favors you do for others. Do those things out of kindness and because you just want to be a good person, and the universe will bring it back to you, man, and you'll be thriving. You'll be thriving in life for sure. Yeah.
Bro, out of everybody I know, you were definitely the biggest character, and you also have no problem putting yourself out there. Mm-hmm. You dropped an EP. You did your clothing brand. You a fool on Twitter, and you don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. What advice? So kind of back to what you were just talking about, how someone might feel like, man, I wish I was that person. Not wish I was that person, but I wish I was doing what they were doing, or I wish I had the courage to do what they were doing. What advice would you give to somebody that is struggling with what we were just talking about?
I would probably say, man, just understand and realize, bro, that life is short, and you only get one. You don't get any redos. There's no retries in life. And that's what I had to start realizing. Like, my life has been all over the place. I thought I was going to do a million different things. At one point, I thought I was going to be an athlete. You know, I was super big into sports. I worked out. I put the time in, and it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was going to be either a track star or a football player. It didn't work out. Then I said, okay, I want to be a writer. You know what I mean? One day I want to work for Vice Magazine, or I want to work for Noisy, or I want to work for Complex, or any other platform. You know what I mean? And that didn't work out. I realized that's not what I wanted to do in my life. I didn't want to be a writer. Then I found technology. I realized that technology was going to be a thing. Like, this was really going to be a big part of our lives going into the future. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I got to jump on that bandwagon before I miss the train. And once I established myself professionally, I said, man, like, just because I do this and this is my 9 to 5, this is my bread and butter that pays my bills, it's still other things that I want to be. And it's things that I wouldn't mind going after. Because, you know, what do you have to lose? Like, I go and record music and drop it. Nobody listens to it. Okay. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like,
you enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. It's a hobby for me. You know what I mean? And dropping clothes. If there's a certain style of clothing or a certain design that is in my head that I don't see other brands dropping, what stops me from starting a clothing line, making those designs and wearing it myself? If nobody else wears it in the world, I get to wear it because it's mine. It's something I created. So
that's a cool feeling.
Yeah, man, you just got to believe in yourself and don't really worry so much about what others are going to think or what judgments you might get. People might say your clothes are ugly. People might say your music sucks and you can't rap or you can't sing or whatever. But if it makes you happy and it gives you fulfillment, then that's all that matters, bro. Everything else don't matter. Oh, yeah. That's what you got to think. It's what you got to put in your head.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Man. Absolutely. Hey, for those who don't know, what's the name of your clothing brand?
Oh, Black Kennedy Clothing.
Okay. When we getting another drop sometime?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about dropping in the fall. I've been focused so much on doing music right now and recording and just trying to get myself better. Just kind of work on it, practicing, you know, doing more and more, recording more and more songs that I kind of fell back on making clothes. But what my plan is going into the future is once I drop a couple more tapes, I want to start kind of merging my music and my fashion together. Okay. So every time I drop a mixtape, I drop merch with it, and I do like, you know, like a little capsule collection, and that's kind of how my brain works. So I'm trying to just get the same people who supported me with the fashion, trying to kind of integrate them into what I'm doing with music, and maybe build that fan base and kind of merge those fan bases and make people deal with my fashion and my music at the same time. That's unique.
I don't know anybody else that really does something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty dope.
For sure. I appreciate like that. Appreciate that.
So I know for me personally, when this first came out and the first 5 videos have hit 100 views, and then Spotify does its own separate views. I know for me personally, it's fucking surreal that people even listen to this, and that people enjoy it, or at least they say they do. What did it feel like? Because I know when you dropped your line, your clothing line, that bitch sold out in less than a day. What did that feel like?
It's an awesome feeling, man. It's like those little moments of assurance, I think it is, that you get sometimes.
That because you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think
you're on the right path.
I think a lot of times we are our biggest criticizers.
Every time.
We criticize ourselves more than anybody in the world. You'll think of 1,000 things that other people might say about something that you're doing before you even give them a chance to see it and digest it. So like, I know for me, I used to go through so many designs where I would sketch things up, and then I look at it and be like, man, this is trash. I don't like this. And then I would show those same sketches to somebody else, and they'd be like, bro, this is hard as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you put this out? Like that design right there with the little kid with the gun and everything. It was a million things I was saying. Like, nobody wants to see a kid with a gun. Nobody will buy a shirt with a kid with a gun running with alcohol. That's not good imagery. You know, it's not good promotion. It's not good marketing. It was a million things in my head that I was telling myself until somebody else seen it and said, put that out. You know what I mean? And actually, it was one of my close friends, Chastity, who passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace to her. But she was one of the people who seen that design and was like, bro, that's something that people will wear. Like, that's really something people would want to put on. That's a hard design. So, yeah, man, like, I think it's just when you put it out there and your your clothing sells out in 10 hours, or you put your podcast out there and it gets 1,000 views, or you put your music out there and it gets 1,200 streams. To some people, they might laugh at you like, oh, you only got 1,200 streams, but it's like, bro, that's 1,200 times that people listen to me.
That's crazy.
That they didn't have to. So like, you just got to take those small wins until they become big wins.
Especially with what you said earlier, there's so many different people you can listen to, and these bitches are. I mean, we're gonna sit here for 2-3 hours, and that's a long time. It's a long time for someone to take out of their day to listen to it. And we get over 100 views. Like that's insane. That someone's gonna sit there and listen to the entire thing. That's crazy. I mean, and then your album, I mean, your EP is still 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's still 25 minutes out of someone's day.
And that's something that, because it's real, bro. It's so easy. Shit, I catch myself doing it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm above people. I catch myself doing it where like some random SoundCloud artist comes on. I'm listening to something on SoundCloud. It goes to the next song and some random person. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Turn it off. You know what I mean? But it's like, there's also been times where I've been on SoundCloud and it goes to a new song that I don't know who it is. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who is this dude? Yeah. And then I go to Apple Music. Then I just downloaded his mixtape. So it worked like that, man.
Do you find yourself, okay, so now that you've dropped 2 different things, a clothing line and an EP, do you find yourself in those situations, like sometimes when you skip it, do you ever find yourself going back and being like, thinking to yourself like, hey, no, I wouldn't want someone to skip my shit. Let me at least listen to it.
For sure.
You ever find yourself doing that?
For sure, bro. Like, I think at this point, just me personally, I listen to more underground music than I do mainstream. Sure. Because I just always like to listen to what's new. I always like to listen to what is nobody else listening to yet that needs a highlight. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like I've been super heavy on like Detroit rap music. Okay. And for a long time, I've always loved Detroit rap music. Like probably I'll say since like 2016, something like that. And God rest the dead, Dex Osama, which was a rapper from Detroit. He was one of the first people I heard from Detroit, and he had such a different flow. It was like a shit talker flow. Like when they rap, it's like they say like different little ad libs like that are so it's like so disrespectful that it's like, damn, I like this. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like listening to those people, you end up opening the door and you end up finding 15, 20 more
Go
artists.
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, you end up on YouTube at 3 a.m. and you listening to some random dude. So it's like, man, you never know who might see you, who might run across your music that will turn you into a star. So that's why I say I try not to just count people out. Now, if it's not good, it's just not good. But you never know, man. You might hear something off first listen, and then you listen to it again, you're like, man, this shit kind of catchy. So, yeah, man, like, I always try to give everybody stuff a chance. You know what I mean? At least one chance.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair because, again, you wouldn't want someone to just look at your shit and not even listen to it.
Yeah.
That's not fair to you.
For sure.
Right? And so I found myself, like, doing that often. Like, I try to listen to as many people as I know's podcasts, or I try to listen to their music, or whatever it is. I just try to take that time. I'll fit that time in because it's something that's important to me now, because I just think about it in the sense of I want someone to do it for me.
For
so
sure.
I have to do it for somebody in order for it to reciprocate.
For sure.
That's how I feel. At least.
Yeah.
I feel like it helps.
You got to give people a chance. For sure.
So grew up. How long were you in Killeen?
I was in Killeen, honestly, bro, the bulk of my life. Like to be 100% honest with you, like, I went back and forth to Philadelphia in the summers.
That's what I was gonna ask.
But once I got to a certain age, my parents didn't really want me there because being a 14-year-old in Killeen, Texas is not the same as my cousins who were growing up as 14-year-olds in Philadelphia. So, you know, at the time, you know, as a younger kid, it was like, we'll go to Philly for the summer. But it's like when you're 14, 15, you don't really want your son from out of town running around with his cousins that are from Philly for 2-3 months. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, because all that's going to do is eventually get you in trouble. At least that's how my parents thought of it. So I was always in Texas, but once I got to about, I say 13, 14, that's when it was like Texas. Like, that was it.
Okay,
like,
so
I was there. We would go back and visit, but it would only be like maybe 3-4 days at 5 days at the most, and then we're back to Texas.
So right around high school, parents cut that shit.
Yeah, about 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, they were like, yeah, all right, you know, get used to being down here.
Explain that to someone who doesn't really get it. So the whole, like, growing up, or people living in Philly, growing up in that area, like, explain that to someone who doesn't get it. Like what is it that, like, for someone who's grown up, who has lived in the suburbs for, like, their entire life, explain to somebody, like, what it is that happens on a daily basis in an area that's not the suburbs. Like,
I mean, honestly, certain things just aren't a norm, you know what I mean? But you don't realize it when you're kind of living in it.
Sure.
So both my parents grew up in inner city Philadelphia. They both grew up on Southwest Philly, both of their families. My dad's family originally was from up north. My mom's family comes from Georgia, Plantation. They were slaves. Like, my great grandparents were slaves. My grandfather was a sharecropper. He lived on land that was owned by a white man that he basically worked to get the land. Like, he worked to own the land, and it never really worked out. He got into a situation in which he got in an altercation with a white man, and he was in fear of being lynched. Like, in reality, that was a real thing at that time. And he ended up fleeing to Philadelphia. He had a sister that lived up there. And honestly, if that situation never happened, I wouldn't be here today, because that situation is what got my granddad to Philly. Met my grandmother. They had kids. My mom and dad grew up on the same block in the inner city, and they did grow up in the full swing of the crack era. They were of age to have seen what crack did to the inner city. And you know, my dad ran with those guys. That's, you know, what he did. Like, he was a ball player. My dad was an athlete also. But living in inner city, you know, the guys that you play Pee Wee League with were the same guys that end up being the crack dealers and the hustlers in the, you know, in the neighborhood. So that was just something that my dad had to make a conscious decision on. And he ended up getting my mom pregnant when they were in high school. And he ended up having to make the conscious decision to go to the military. So he could have went and played ball. My dad had offers to go play ball, but he wanted to be a responsible man and take care of his responsibilities. And he ended up staying with my mom and going to the military and earning a living younger in life. But yeah, growing up in the inner city, man, and I wouldn't even say the inner city, even growing up in places like Killeen, because Killeen is it's looked at as a military town, but at the same time, it's still one of those places where it's a lot of crime that goes on.
People don't understand that crime follows military places.
For sure.
Fort Bragg, Fayetteville and Fort Bragg. That's a wild place too. That's where I was born. And then Aberdeen, Maryland, and the Army base there. That's another wild place too. Both of those places are wild. And then Alaska, obviously not too crazy. Wasn't too crazy. At least I didn't live near the Army base, so I can't really speak on that. But then down when we got to Killeen, it's interesting how it kind of follows the military bases, but it also makes sense though.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's kids from the worst places in America.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, imagine you're a kid, you're from inner city Los Angeles, you're from inner city Philadelphia, you're from inner city, you know what I mean? Inner city Georgia. It's so many Chicago. It's so many places all across the country that these people are coming from the worst neighborhoods and they just need a way out. They just want somewhere that can be a safe haven outside of where they're from. Because you get to 16, 17, 18, if you make it to that age, because you've seen so many of your friends pass away, go to jail, get incarcerated, get into just the wrong lifestyle, and you just want a different route. So yeah, it makes sense. Like, I know for me in Killeen, a lot of the gangs and a lot of the things that were brought to Killeen came from the outside. It wasn't really people there. I mean, in Killeen, it was a division of neighborhoods, what side of the city you lived on. But the gang banging and stuff and things like that, that came from the outside. It wasn't too many gangs. It was like people that were bringing these gangs in from other places. People who came from Chicago that were stationed in Killeen. People who came from LA that were stationed in Killeen. People who came from Florida that were stationed in Killeen. So it was stuff like that. And then Hurricane Katrina, things of that nature. So yeah, for sure. It's a lot of factors.
It kind of changed. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. And it sucks, man. Because people really don't, if you've never lived in any of those areas, you really don't fucking get it.
No, at all.
You don't get it at all. Like, it's, like, no one chose to be born there. Like, that's that. And it's sad because it's like, I don't blame anyone for doing what they got to do to put food on the table.
For sure.
When you got 2 kids and you have to support them and you got to support your spouse, whatever it may be, bro, you got to just put food on the table.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
And it's tough. It's tough. And it's crazy because a lot of times people don't realize, like, people from us, because me, I've seen both sides of it. Because yes, I grew up in I say a urban environment. I just say it like that. Like, I grew up in an urban environment. I grew up around a lot of drug dealing. I grew up around a lot of gang banging. I grew up around a lot of violence based in drug related things or gang related things. I've seen a lot of people pass away. Like, I tell people all the time, in my neighborhood, all the people I grew up with, the neighbor that stayed in front of me died from gun violence. Neighbor that stayed to the side of me died from gun violence. It was a lot of things that were rooted in violence or drugs or anything along those lines. So I seen that lifestyle, even in my own family. Like, I know a lot of people who have been locked up. A lot of my relatives have been locked up based in that. My uncle is in jail for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? That's somebody that still writes me letters. You know what I mean? And we talk through letters, and that's something that I've seen as a norm. Like, you know, it's not irregular for me to have to do that. But when you meet other people who don't come from that lifestyle, you tell them, like, yeah, my uncle is in jail for double homicide. I write them letters, and they're like, damn, your uncle killed somebody? It's not a reality to them, because that type of thing doesn't happen where they're from.
Sure.
So, you know, their uncle owns a business. And, You know what I mean? Their uncle gives them $1,000 for graduating high school and things like that. And that's something that's not normal for me. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's not anything wrong with it, but I do think there's a disconnect. Because if you don't experience something and you've never seen it, it's a rap song to you. You know what I mean? It's a movie to you. This is not a reality to you. You only see this on a silver screen or in your headphones. To other people, this is a reality. This is something that they've really seen for sure. So, yeah, it's a disconnect. But I think if you open yourself up to understand someone else's reality, then that's what helps you grow as a human being. Because even for me, I had to learn what it was like to be suburban. Once I got to college, people didn't live like me. People didn't grow up like me. People had, like real families with money and stuff like that. And that was such a distant idea for me. So, yeah, I just think it's all about being open and being open to learning.
Bro, it has to be. Like, it's just so crazy to judge somebody based on what they're doing, in their circumstance. Like I said, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is it like? What do you think your parents instilled into you to go down, like, to keep you going down the right path or a different path? Not necessarily the right path, but a different path.
I think growing up, I always had the strict parents.
Okay.
A lot of my friends didn't have a 2-parent household. I was one of the few people who did. A lot of my friends were either had moms, single moms, or they live with their grandparents, or there was some situation they live with their auntie, you know what I mean, and their family, because their parents weren't there. So I was one of the few people who had my dad. My dad was in the military. He was a military guy. He wasn't too stern. He wasn't overboard with it, but he did run the house like he ran his soldiers. You know what I mean? Like, not as harsh, but he wanted that same.
It was a structure.
Yeah, he wanted that structure. He wanted us to understand that core values and morals were very important. You know what I mean? That was my dad. And believe it or not, my mom was more the disciplinary person. She was just like on us, punishments. And me, early on, I was one of those kids that like, okay, I'll take a whooping. You know what I mean? You gonna whoop me, I'll cry, and then it's over. You know what I mean? It's not gonna last long. I don't care. Like, if I get in trouble, I know I'm just gonna get whooped. So then my mom, she started hitting me where it hurt. Like, she started taking my shoes away. Like, my mom, like, I would get in trouble, and my mom would be like, I'm taking all your sneakers, all your clothes. All you get to wear is one pair of sneakers and your dress shoes. So she would tell me, like, you get this one pair of sneakers that you choose, and you get these dress shoes. So that's the only two things you wear in the school, and it was embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, you either wear this one pair of shoes every single day like a cartoon character, or you got to wear dress shoes to school. You know what I mean? With your school uniform, you're wearing like shiny penny loafers or something. So it was like my parents growing up, they made sure that I understood the value of having discipline. Not always, having the expectation that I'm always going to do the right thing, but the fact that I had the knowledge of what the right thing was to do. They didn't expect me to be perfect, but they wanted to always instill in me that if you know what the right thing is to do right. Don't do wrong. Because doing wrong only leads you down a path of doing more wrong. Because a lot of times when you do wrong, you got to lie. You know what I mean? You got to lie to your parents. You got to lie to whoever to do these wrongdoings, and just making that your reality and your normal. It's only going to lead to worse as you get older. And that's something that I learned at a young age, like 12, 13. I was honest with my parents. When I tried weed for the first time, I was honest with my parents. When I had sex for the first time, I was honest with my parents, because they made it to where they wanted the truth over me lying, so that they can guide me and they can give me advice, and they can tell me, like, we know you're going to be a man soon enough, so I want you to have this, to when you are a man, you can handle yourself accordingly, and you can carry yourself in a way that is constructive and not a way that's destructive. And I think that was the biggest thing, and I took heed to it. And my dad passed away when I was still a teenager, but the things that he tells me, even things he told me when I was 13, 14, 15, it comes back around full circle, because I'm making a decision as an adult, and I still go back to those building blocks, those moral building blocks that he gave me, and it helps me to this day. So I think that's the biggest thing for me with my parents.
I love that whole thing right there. That was
for sure.
That was bars right.
I appreciate
that. I think right there, like, honestly, if you raise your kids like exactly how you just said, I don't think you can go wrong.
For sure.
Like, you can't go wrong.
For sure.
Like, literally just tell them that all you care about is just them telling you the truth. They're gonna fuck up. You're supposed to fuck up. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with everything right now. Nobody can fuck up no more.
Can't make any mistakes.
You can't fuck up no more.
You can't say the wrong thing ever.
Ever.
Even if you were 12, 13, 14 years old when you said it.
Ever. You can't say the wrong thing no more. You can't do the wrong, like, there's a level of fuck up that you have to go through in order to learn and become a better person. This perfect utopia that this cancel culture and social media is trying to create, it sounds really good on paper, but it's not. It's just not how we work. Like, we fuck up. That's what it's about.
For sure.
But it's about owning your fuck ups. That's
and learning.
And learning.
Always
and becoming
learning.
a better person.
For sure.
And not repeating them.
For sure.
Now, if you repeat them, that's a whole different story.
And even then, like, even with repeating your fuck ups, sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes it's very.
That's true too.
If you have a history of doing the wrong thing, but embedded in that is the fact that you never really understood what was wrong and what you were doing. Like we said, like going back to our earlier conversation, if some certain things are normality to you, you're not going to understand what's really bad about it. If you grew up in a broken home, or you grew up in a household where, you know, your parents were separated and your father had multiple girlfriends. You know, every time you went to go stay with your dad, he had multiple girlfriends. You know what I mean? Or every time you stayed with your mom, you was with your mom, she was going on dates with men for a female. In your brain, that's a normalcy. Like, you see that and you say that's normal. There's nothing wrong with a guy dating multiple women, because I see my dad doing growing up. It's nothing wrong with a girl being with multiple men, because when I was younger, my mom always was going on dates. She always had different boyfriends. So it's like, sometimes you got to understand that, like, the things that people live through and the things that people experience, they gotta grow up and learn it. Okay, maybe I shouldn't move like that, or maybe I shouldn't do that. And that goes for all things. Relationships, marriage, having children out of wedlock, you know, using drugs, selling drugs, whatever the case may be. There's always some type of normalcy that people develop, and the things that they see and experience help to build and kind of brand that normalcy into them, and it becomes a part of their DNA. And that's kind of why you see a lot of generational pitfalls in certain people, because their grandparents did it, their parents did it, now they doing it, and they're gonna teach it to their kids that it's okay, or it's acceptable. And I think it comes down to not only teaching differently, but also using the resources that we have nowadays to teach yourself to be better. And I think that's a big part of it with me, because, you know, like I said, I got a brother that's, you know, been in and out of jail. He's been in a life of crime, I guess you can say, since I was a kid, since I was younger, and that was someone I looked up to heavily. But as I got to a certain age, I kind of said to myself, like, yeah, my brother has, you know, all of this and that. He has the newest clothes, he has the newest shoes, he got, you know, the gold chains, the watches, the glasses, the everything, the car. But it's like, there's a reason why he's causing our family so much stress and pain.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I was young, so I didn't understand the details of it, but I understood that there's something more to this. Like, yes, the viewpoint of it is good, but there's something deeper to this that causes my mom pain, makes her cry. You know what I mean? My brother has to go away for however long that I don't really comprehend why, but I get he has to leave for a long time, and I don't see him, and he comes back. So it's just learning that there's a deeper there's a deeper effect in everything that happens to somebody. You know, the normalcies that they learn. So you just got to understand them and learn to break out of them and kind of build your own normalcy, I guess you could say.
Right. You just went back to back. That was two gems. Just back to back.
Man,
That was such
I don't know what you put in this cup, man. You got me. You got me going. I'm preaching right now.
Hey, we got this larceny. Dude, the last guest brought this, and we made a thing where anybody who brings anything, we're gonna leave it on the table.
On the table?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it.
I
on the
wish
table.
I would have known. I'd had to brought you something. Now I feel
dude,
bad.
You driving down here was more than enough. I couldn't ask you to bring shit. Nah, fuck that. That'd been fucked up. You already drove 3 hours. And then we got Sammy the Succulent.
Okay.
Yeah, we got that named.
I've been trying to get into my plant life, man. I've been trying to, man. I kill plants, so I feel bad. That's why I try to get the fake ones.
We're just trying not to kill this. Shit.
Succulent's good, though.
Hey, so far, so good. So far, we're 5 episodes deep, and it hasn't died yet.
It's all green. I don't see
go.
no brown, no nothing, so I think you straight.
But no, dude, that was articulated so wonderfully.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
appreciate that.
Because that's so true. Because what might be normal to somebody is not normal to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's all about trying to get to know someone, trying to hear them out, trying to see where they come from, and then finding that common ground, finding that that mutual agreement. And that's another big thing that is killing us right now. There's just no more conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, let's just yell at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want to listen. Doesn't matter. You're wrong. I'm right.
Oh, for sure.
And it's a wild time, man.
It's easy, man. It's social media.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a social media way of thinking. If I don't like what you say, I'm going to block you.
Yep.
You know, I don't have to talk to you in real life. See, it's different when you're talking to somebody face to face in real life. You can't just block them.
Yeah.
If they don't agree with you.
Yeah.
You got to really talk it out. You know what I mean? And I think that it completely destroys conflict resolution in people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't yell at someone and try to force your ideas on them. And if they don't like it, you just completely shut them out. Because you'll never grow as a thinker. You'll never see another angle of anything. Because you just block them. I don't like what they say. I don't like their standpoint. I'm going to block them.
And no one's nearly as confrontational in person as they are on social media.
At all.
Ain't nobody
ever.
Bro,
it's never
ever,
like
dog.
that. It's never like that.
I work retail. Ain't nobody that fucking confrontational.
Ever.
It's just
and you work retail, so it's like people will get into it with you. People could get into it with you, and they wouldn't say it to you.
Yeah.
They would tweet about it after they leave, whatever. You know what I mean?
Leave a review.
Yeah, for sure.
Leave
or
a
Yelp
review,
or something.
yeah.
But you didn't say any of that to the people when they were standing right there.
That's exactly what it is,
for
man.
sure.
We brushed over two things, and not on purpose. So definitely, it's been that long since you lost your dad. I feel like that was more recent.
Yeah, it was almost 10 years, man. It's 2021. That was 2012. Mm-hmm. Almost 10 years.
It's been almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years for sure,
dude. I can't imagine. You lost your dad, and then you mentioned previously also losing your best friend Chas.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you do, or is there something that you did in order to help cope with that? Is there for someone who's lost somebody
mm-hmm.
or lost multiple people, what is it for you? What helps you get up out of bed every morning and still be this? You're always this. Yeah, you're always trolling and talking shit, but you're always a super happy, positive person.
Mm-hmm.
Always. What gets you going every day?
Man, you just gotta understand that there are so many deeper things in play in the universe that sometimes we get selfish. We get such an attachment to someone in a human form that we don't think about what they might have been going through in their human life. You know what I mean? In their life on earth. And there's so many things that you kind of have to understand that these are part of life. Because when you're born, the only thing that you're insured of is that you will one day die. Like,
Yep.
you don't know if you're going to be rich. You don't know if you're going to be poor. You don't know if you're going to be famous. You don't know if you're going to be a nobody. You don't know any of these things in life. You can hope and dream and have wishes and goals, but you could pass away tomorrow and never reach any of those goals. But you had an impact on someone. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was just your loved ones, and your loved ones are going to feel like it's not fair that you're not here anymore. And you do feel like that sometimes. And I've learned, like, I've lost a lot of people, like friends. Man, I couldn't even tell you, man. The other day I was looking at like old pictures on Facebook and stuff. And I was looking at like old basketball photos from like 6th, 7th grade and stuff. And like old pictures of just us playing in the neighborhood. Man, you wouldn't believe how many people I counted that are not alive anymore. You know what I mean? And
that's sad, man.
Yeah, but it's sad. Almost crazy because I'm so numb to it. It's like,
that's even more sad.
It's like, damn, man. Like, I think back, like, one of my neighbors across the street, like, I was talking to my mom the other day, like, man, remember when we used to woo, woo, woo? And she was like, how is he? How are they doing? And I'm like, remember, he passed away. Like, he passed away when I was, like, young, way younger. And she was like, oh, my gosh, he did. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not even sad. It's like, damn, I forgot about that. Like, I forgot this person passed away. And it's not that you forgot that person. It's just so many people have passed away since then that, man, you don't even get done grieving this person, and this person passed away, then this person passed away, then this person passed away. And it becomes like that. And it is tough, man. Some of them hit closer to home than others. When I lost my dad, to go back to your question, my biggest thing was focusing my brain elsewhere. I think when I first lost my dad, I was very reckless. Like, I didn't really have much meaning because I feel like my dad was the person who was in my ear the most. My dad would call me and talk to me. You know what I mean? He would tell me, hey, I don't care how late you get in, call me. You go to a party, call me. When I was in school. And I'm like, you know, all right, Dad. Talk to him, hang up. It's 2:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'm about to pass out off this alcohol, praying to God that I don't throw up everywhere. And then my phone blowing up. I'm like, who the fuck is calling me? I look, it's my dad. He just wanted to talk to me and make sure I was okay. Yep. Make sure I was in the house. I wasn't in harm's way. I was at home. Yep. You know, he tell me, boy, you need to go in there and eat you a sandwich or something. Get some bread on your stomach, or you're going to be sick. You know what I mean? Like, he was like the guide to life for me. So when I lost him, I didn't have much guidance. I didn't know really what I wanted to do with myself. I didn't know if I wanted to drop out of school. I didn't know if I wanted to run the streets with my friends, because a lot of my friends didn't go to school, or they weren't really, you know, in the environment that I was in. So I was like, man, fuck it. What am I doing this for? I was doing this to make my dad and mom proud. Now he's gone. I can leave. I can go do what I want to do now. And it took a lot of willpower and a lot of mental strength and a lot of just replaying the things that he told me and the things he instilled in me to keep me focused, to keep me dedicated to something that wasn't just for him. It was for me. I didn't know it was for me, and I didn't see it until I got older and later in my life. But
everything he did was for you.
Everything he did was for me. It wasn't to make him proud or to make him happy or to appease him or make him not, you know, complain to me. Yeah. He was doing it to help me because he knew I was going to need it one day. You know, I'm pretty sure he didn't think I would need it, you know, because he wasn't here anymore, but he knew that I would need it. So I really latched on to the things he taught me, man. And that is a big part of the way I am today, is because of the way my dad raised me and the things he taught me. Fast forward to Chaz. I think me and Chaz had a very deep connection in the sense that we motivated each other. You know,
you talk about how she was talking about your shirt, like,
always,
you gotta drop that.
Always.
Dude, you gotta have that friend.
You got to. They'll be blunt. And that's what Chastity was. She'll laugh and she'll giggle, but she will tell me something very bluntly, like, this is not good. Yep. You need to try again. Yep. You need to stop crying about this and go change it. Yep. Don't whine to me about something if you're not going to change it for yourself. You're just going to sit here and complain to me. She was that friend for me. Yeah. And you don't get very many people like that. You get a lot of yes men in your life. You get a lot of people who they don't really care too much. Not that they don't care about you, but the things that you tell them and the
barely listening.
Yeah, the trials and tribulations, it doesn't affect them.
I came to that conclusion, not to cut you off.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I came to that conclusion not too long ago. So, man, I've started to realize, especially doing this, I've started to realize when I talk to people, you'll be surprised. Like, I feel like people are shocked when you're actually listening. Like, someone will tell me something, and I genuinely try to listen. I try to listen. When someone's talking to me, I'm trying to listen. Now, there's fucking 50 million things going on up here, but I'm trying to pay attention. And then, like a week or two later, you see that person and you regurgitate that, like something that they said to them. And they're like, wait, you remember that? I'm like, yeah, man, when you talk, I'm listening, or I try to listen. And it's wild because I feel like that's not most people. I don't think a lot of people really, either like you said, they're not really paying attention. They're really not listening. They're listening, but they're not. And it's not that they don't care about you. That's just kind of how people are. And I'm like, damn, man, like, I don't know. I don't even really know where I was going with that, but it's just, it sucks though. Cause like we should listen to each other. Yeah. That's how we get better.
It's tough though, man, because when people I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to appreciate those people that are in your corner to listen to you.
I feel that. I do get it. I get it.
And you can give them and they give you their critiques and they give you their honest opinion. You got to appreciate that. You don't get that often. And I think that was a big thing for me with losing Chastity. I lost somebody that was that person for me, that I could go to with an idea and they'll tell me the blunt, honest truth. You need to change this. You need to put more thought behind this. Well, if you want to do that, why do you want to do it? What is the point? What is it going to make people want to even be interested in what you're trying to do? With my music, like, she was like, you got to put your heart into it. You can't just say, oh, it's a hobby, so I don't really care. No, you got to actually practice as if you were playing a sport or learning an instrument. You got to keep doing it. Stay consistent. Stay with it. So yeah, man, you don't get very many people who can give the same amount of concern with your life and your goals and your situation as they would with their own, because everybody's dealing with something. So it's tough sometimes to really those people dive.
Those people are so powerful because oftentimes someone who's not as motivated as yourself, oftentimes they kind of find that person as being an asshole. And that sucks because that's not what she's trying to do at all. She's not trying to be an asshole by telling you, hey, no, this ain't the move right here. This ain't it. Like, let's rethink this. Like, she ain't being an asshole.
Rework it.
She's just telling you, hey, this ain't it. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But oftentimes those people get labeled as assholes or bitches, or like when they're genuinely just trying to help you out.
People like yes man. I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes, bro, sometimes yes men are needed. Sometimes you do need to be a yes man for somebody, because sometimes people just lack confidence.
Sure.
You need them. You need somebody in your ear that can give you that confidence booster, that can get you where you need to be in life. Nah, man, go ahead and do that. Make that music.
Oh, absolutely.
Shit, it don't even got to be that big. It could be you don't like the way you like the way you look in the mirror. Bro, just go to the gym, bro. I'll help you out. I'll go with you. I'll give you a workout plan. I'll help you with your diet. Sometimes it's just that push people need to reach their full potential. It was always in you. It's just you don't really believe in yourself. Some people, like me personally, I was my confidence booster. Because me, even when I wasn't the flyest dude, I felt like I was.
Hell yeah.
I didn't have the flyest clothes. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in a household with 5 kids. My parents had to buy a lot of school clothes, and I wasn't always the flyest dude, but I felt like I was the flyest. I didn't care what I had on. Even if we had to go to Ross, or we had to go to TJ Maxx or Marshalls, or we had to go to some, store that wasn't like the actual Polo store or whatever. Man, my mom take me in there. She'll let me surf the aisles. I'll find 3, 4, 5 polos, and then I find these jeans and these hats, and I put it together, and I felt like I was the flyest. That way, when I got to the point where I could get the stuff that I wanted, and I was able and afforded to get the things that I want, I already had it in me. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what was on me. Whatever was on me didn't matter because it was in me. I seen it in myself. So some people have it naturally. Some people just need that confidence boost, and then it'll open up and they see it in themselves.
Yo, I'm getting there. I struggle with that a lot. Like, so this is real minute compared to what you're talking about, but literally over the last like 4 days, I sat there with a trimmer like this. Like, no bullshit. Yeah. And then I was like, nah, fuck that. Because I really don't like the way I look clean shaven. It shows how big my mouth is, and that shit bothers me. Yeah. But then it's like, nah, I don't look that bad. Yeah. Could be worse. And so I'm getting there. Like, I understand that struggle. Or for me personally, like I struggle with that confidence. I tend to be a little bit more insecure, but over like doing this, putting myself out there has helped a lot. But dude, nothing like that fight. That's what that fight was all about. And
that's what I said when I seen you was doing that. I was like, damn. I was like, bro, he's really about to go full force with the fighting. Like,
that's all it was about. That's all it was about. Like, I don't really plan on. I mean, I want to compete again, but this is my priority here is to balance this and that, and I can't really compete in that again because I'm going full fledged on this, and so I'm only training 2 times a week instead of 5 times a week like I was before the fight. But that's why I didn't post nothing about it. If we talked in person, you would know, but on social media, no one knew. And I was talking about this last episode is that the reason is because I feel like sometimes when I put something out there in the universe, something always fucking happens. Yeah. Like I always trip up and then something happens that derails me, or if I would have got injured, or if something would have happened before that tournament and had I not competed, but I had talked about competing on social media, I'd have been devastated. Yeah. Devastated. So I made sure I didn't post nothing, not a damn about it. Went all through fight camp, did my 6 months, and the night before I was like, all right, I can post about it. Yeah. Because I put in that fucking work. Yeah. The work had been put in, and I was like, all right, I can post about it because no matter what happens tomorrow, I know that I earned the right to step in that ring. And that helped tremendously. Like Muay Thai has helped a lot. And it's just therapeutic as hell. Ain't nothing like going in there, getting punched, punching people, and knowing that you're not gonna get in trouble for it. Yeah.
And you find your niche, man. I feel like, man, it's crazy because there's so many things that you just wouldn't even realize that you are capable of. I think a lot of people don't realize their capability. And that's what hinders a lot of people. Like some people, man, they could be top-notch athletes. They could be in shape. They could be artists. They could be musicians. Like my friend Leo, he's been a singer since we were younger.
Hey, shout out to Leo.
Yeah, Leo
killing it right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's been able to sing since we was younger. But when you're younger, growing up in the neighborhood we grew up in, and growing up around the people we grew up around, being a singer is not something that you want to tell people about. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's always had a voice, always was able to sing. And me and him talked one day, and he was just telling me like, yeah, bro, I think I'm going to do this music thing. I'm going to He's kind of going in, and I'm like, bro, do it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was around everybody that was rapping all the time. A lot of my friends rapped, and a lot of my friends really did good with rap. Like they were successful in what they were doing at the time that they were rapping. I just never seen it for myself. I just felt like people wouldn't take me serious because I was always the too cool. Nah, man, I don't do all that. Like I just want to look cool and look fly. I want to get fresh, and I just thought people wouldn't take me serious as a rapper until I said, you know what, bro, fuck it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? People don't take me serious. Oh, well, I just stopped doing it. And me and him chopped it up. And before I knew it, shit, he was sending me his first tape. And I'm like, damn, like, bro, this is good. He's like, yeah, bro, I think I'm going to drop it. I think I'm going to put it out. I've been working. And he put it out. And fast forward, he just went to LA and won an award for his video. So, man, sometimes, bro, you just have to ignite that flame in yourself, and you are capable of accomplishing anything. I don't think anybody is born with more capability than anybody else.
Well,
I don't think so. Yeah, of course there are.
Well, LeBron James, I mean.
physically, yes. But think about it. Think about if LeBron James didn't believe in himself.
Oh, absolutely.
He would have been just another kid in Akron
100%.
that could have been somebody.
100%.
And it's like you just have to, like I said
It takes both things.
Like I said earlier, some people have it in them, and it's born and it's in them, and they have that flame already ignited. They know who they want to be. They know what they want out of life, and they go get it. Some people just need that battery pack put in them, and once they got it in them and they believe in themselves, it's gonna happen for them because they're so dedicated and they put so much effort behind it. Like, I'm pretty sure there were points with you in fight camp where you were like, man, fuck this, bro. I don't see how people do this shit. I'm not doing this shit.
Was there?
You know what I mean?
Dog.
But then when you won that fight, how did you feel?
Oh, dude, like, there was nothing like it.
Exactly.
There was nothing like it. That win in the second fight, bro, that shit was a war.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I lost. I thought I lost 100%. And when we were standing there next to the ref, it felt like an eternity. And then when they raised my hand, I was like, bro, that's wild. Like, I did that shit. Like, I did it. I put in the work. I showed up. I did what I was supposed to. And it happened. Like, it worked. And that's like anything. Like you're saying, like, just do what you're supposed to do. Put your head down. Put in the work. Don't make excuses. And that shit's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
It might, and it's never on your
time.
Faith.
Yeah, just have that faith in yourself.
All you gotta do. Some people think like I seen a quote. I seen a quote from 50 Cent. It's so crazy. I was just looking at it today on Instagram, and it popped up randomly on my feed. That he was saying, like, a lot of times when we think that we are ready for something, it never comes in that time frame that we feel like we're ready, because the disappointment of it not happening, because you feel like people aren't giving you the gratification that you deserve in that moment.
Yeah.
Whether it's you feel like you're a good enough fighter to be on a professional level, or at least a amateur level in which you're getting opportunities to fight people that could get you to a professional level. That disappointment that gets put in you in that moment where you're not reaching that, that's enough to where when you do reach that level, you know what that disappointment feels like. If you feel like your clothing brand should be more popping because your shit looks better than this, that, and the third that's already an established brand, that disappointment that you feel is when you do get successful, you'll be ready to take any adversity or trials and tribulations that comes with being successful. That's what it all is prepping, and it's getting you groomed for success. It's getting you groomed to be successful and get where you want to be. And as long as you keep that idea in your head, man, you'll never give up on yourself.
Because usually what happens is people just give up too soon.
For sure.
Things take time. Like this takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a commitment, right? That's why this bitch is scheduled for so long out. Because this is a commitment. Like, you have to do this for a period of time. Doesn't matter how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time for other people to start listening to it. You got to post every day, all day. Like, you got to continuously post just to get your friends to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how hard it is to get someone random to listen to it? You just got to keep going.
Content.
You have to.
Content.
Yep.
People love content, man. When people see that you've been dedicated, sometimes, bro, all it takes is content and dedication. Yeah. Like, if you're good, you're good. You know when you're good at something. You know when something is kind of your calling. Like with rapping, I was an English major. So for me, rapping is the most basic form of writing to me. Because you're really just, it's like rhyming. That's all it is. It's not, you don't have to put depth in it. You don't have to put too much of a storyline behind it. Like I've written 20-page papers where I had to pull ideas out of my brain that I didn't even know were there. It's 3 a.m. I'm trying to fucking meet a deadline just to get this paper in, and I'm pulling ideas out of my brain I didn't even know I had. You know what I mean? But then when you get to rapping, it's almost like, bro, this is the simplified. This is just similes and metaphors. That's it. I'm this like a this. I'm this as a this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like this. You know, personification.
Yeah.
Just basic English tools that you can use in rapping. You know what I mean? Like the biggest blessing in making music is if you have a level of education, you don't really got to put too much effort behind it.
Oh, dude.
You've lived the experiences of rap music.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in the hood. I've lived in the hood my whole life. But I'm also went to college. And I have the building blocks of a collegiate education to help me and guide me. And it's like, bro, when you have it, sometimes it's just putting the effort behind it. And when people see you got 7 mixtapes, they go listen to all 7 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, people see you got 125 episodes of a podcast. Once you make it there, because I know you will. Once you get to 125 episodes, now your YouTube checks are coming. Like,
yeah.
And it's pumping. You don't even got to think about it no more. You are so used to just doing the pod and putting it out that now the content is there. People are digesting it. And now the YouTube checks are coming because you getting 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 views on your page. Your subscribers keep growing and it comes organically. You're not forcing it.
Yep.
You're doing what you love and you're making it to where
you're
you're
having fun with it.
For sure.
You have to.
For sure.
You gotta have fun with it.
For sure.
And I appreciate that.
Of course.
I mean, man, dude, I love doing this. No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing this. This and Muay Thai are the 2 things that I tell people. I mean, I legitimately have. I'm lucky if I get my Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Every other day is taken for. Like, I train twice a day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sometimes Wednesdays as well.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking, I'm training at the gym Mondays and Fridays as well. Sundays I'm running. Sundays I got work. Saturdays I'm working. Like, I'm always moving.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you have to choose. Like, you have to do things for yourself. If you're gonna be busy, you need to be busy with things that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're busy with things that you enjoy, it makes your days feel longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing.
And fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. Because days can sometimes, next thing you know, it's a whole year went by and you're like,
you didn't do anything. You got nothing to show.
what happened?
Nothing
and then you're
to
just
show.
a year older.
And it adds up. It starts as 1 year, then it's 2, then it's 3, then it's 4.
And the next thing you know, you're 35.
And you're looking at your peers and you're looking at what work they've put in. And then you sit back like, damn, what did I do in my 20s?
Mm-hmm.
So it's good, man. I salute you. Like, for real. Like, the fact that you can find constructive behavior Monday through Sunday. Cause shit, I have some Saturdays and Sundays where I'm like, shit, I could be sketching designs. I could be at the studio. I could be working out. And I'm sitting on the couch watching Netflix with my dog. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. Sometimes you gotta do that.
You gotta limit those.
Absolutely.
Because when you're successsul, you can have, when you're rich and you're successful and you made it, you can make as many Netflix days as you want.
Shit.
Every
day can be a Netflix day.
Exactly. So,
you retired.
For sure. For sure.
Nah, dude. I mean, oh, man. That's true, dude. I mean, you just gotta enjoy everything you do. You have to. And you gotta do things for yourself. Do things for yourself. Do what you enjoy. The rest falls in place.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you stick to as long as you're a good person, you do what you're supposed to do. Everything's gonna fall into place.
For sure.
That's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like there was something that I was gonna bridge off of that, and now I lost it. I hate that, man. I'll be like, oh, okay, I got it. And then I'll be listening, and then I'll lose it. I'm like,
that's
damn.
my brain 24/7.
Damn, I had it. Like, I was like
24/7. That's all them days in college.
Huh?
You gotta write stuff down.
Yeah, like make conversation.
Them talking points.
I know, dude. I had it, and then I was like, damn, I was gonna bridge off of that perfectly. Nah, man, but like, I mean, what you like? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You brought up a good point, because I say this all the time. You talked about how, due to your intelligence level, rapping comes pretty easy to you.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly think that whether it's artists or comedians, I think they're some of the smartest motherfuckers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave Chappelle, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a genius. Like, in order to stay current with the news, stay current with social issues, stay current with X, Y, and Z, and then to make a whole hour out of it and make it hilarious, you got to be smart. You have to be smart, because you got to be able to find the gems in everything. And being an artist, whether it's rapping or any kind of music, it's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to find the gems in certain things.
Knowledge, man.
Yeah, you got, yeah. Like,
the more knowledge you have, the easier anything is in life.
Dude,
I'm going to be honest with you. Because, like, it comes down to just, outside of just rapping, I'll touch back on that, but just in everyday life. Like, if you know a lot of things about a lot of different things, you can learn to float through life and put yourself in different circles of people. So if you know about things that this certain group of people that you can benefit from knows about, you can implement and integrate yourself into that circle because you have knowledge enough to maintain conversation, maintain interactions with these people. But then you still have what you need to maintain conversations and interact in other circles. So I could be in the hood with my friends, and I know how to move through those environments.
Yep.
I know how to what energy I can give certain people. I know what I can talk about to relate, to make myself relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing is, I can go to a situation where I'm in environments with corporate guys, contractors, people who make 6 figures, 7 figures, and I've had conversations with them. You know what I mean? And it's things that they talk about that they think I don't know about. They think I have no clue. Like, this guy's not gonna know what I'm talking about. And I could talk to him.
But
crypto, stocks, things like that. And they're like, damn, he knows about it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, sometimes having knowledge on a lot of different things can benefit you in life because you don't know what circles you can put yourself in just from being smart, knowing things.
Dude, I pride myself on that. I pride myself on the ability to hang out with all different types of people, all different walks of life. I mean, anybody. I can hang out with anybody. And I know Roth over here, he prides himself on that too. It's just we can, like you said, we just know we can move with all the crowds. We can hang out with the dudes over here that do X, Y, and Z, and we can hang out with the dudes over here that do X, Y, and Z, and we can get along with everybody. Not everybody can do that. They have to find their group, and they can only stick to their group. They're not chameleons, like,
because they feel threatened. A lot of people do. I feel like a lot of people feel threatened, man, and it's nothing wrong with it. But
what do you think, though?
I think a lot of people feel threatened when they're out of their comfort zone. A lot of times, if you feel like somebody is smarter than you, more educated than you, you feel threatened. You kind of get intimidated.
Why do you think people feel threatened instead of intrigued? What makes us different? Because, like, when I'm around someone who's smarter than me, I'm fucking intrigued.
Because some people don't like to feel less than. That's a big thing in people. Ego is the driving force in a lot of people. Even if they don't outwardly show it, everybody has a level of ego and a level of self-esteem. And when you're around people who make you feel less than, or make you feel like you're not as smart as them, you're not as successful as them, they beat themselves up. And some people react in a way that is like, man, I wish I knew, had that level of knowledge, or I wish I had more, knowledge on that. So I'm going to learn from this person. I'm going to kind of, not leech, because that kind of has a negative connotation, but I'm going to just kind of absorb the information that this person is getting, you know what I mean? Or giving to me. You don't got to take 100% of what they're giving you. You can take 40%. And that 40% is it's 40% more knowledge on something that you didn't know before. Yep. And not everybody has that idea or that way of thinking. That some people think like, you think you're better than me because you know more than me. You think you're better than me because you have a better job, or you make more money, or you have more knowledge on this, or whatever. And it also kind of plays into people helping others. Some people like to hoard knowledge. Some people like to feel more superior than others because they know more.
That's the flip side of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where if you're a genuine person and you're a good person and you're pure of heart, and you have a hunger to know more, and you have a hunger to expand your level of knowledge and your level of experience, a lot of times you'll be willing to go around people that are smarter. You'll be willing to go around people that are more successful, because that's what's going to get you there. So as long as you have that idea, you'll be good. But some people, it just takes them a little bit longer to develop that. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, just some.
Damn, dude. I never had a guest read my mind.
Bro, he's killing it.
Perfect.
He's literally fucking killing it.
I was literally just thinking, it's because we're willing to get out of our comfort zone. are willing to talk to those people. Me personally, I love talking to somebody and seeing them light up.
Dude, yes.
Like, I don't know a lot about sports. When I see somebody and I'm asking questions and they're talking about like their favorite teams, like the different things going on, I love seeing them light up and tell me everything. And I'm picking up even just a little bit.
Yes.
That's how I fell in love with my wife. Like her first date telling me she has 8 tarantulas, she's had snakes before, she had lizards, and I'm like, okay, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about them. Let's learn together. And it's like you just go one thing to the next.
I think what you said is so important. What you just said. You said that you like to listen to someone talk about something that makes them light up. There's sometimes where I'm just like, I kind of feel bad sometimes when I just don't want to hear someone talk. And I think that's the difference. Because someone could be talking to you about some bullshit and you're just not trying to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is so true. Because someone can come up to me and talk about, their fucking sock collection.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're that into it and that excited, I'm going to want to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it lights them up, like, dude, that was good. If it lights them up, you want to hear that conversation.
For sure.
Because that's what makes that person tick. Like
sure.
that's what this is all about. This is all about
3, 2,
learning what makes you you.
Mm-hmm.
What makes Norman Crawford Norman Crawford.
For sure.
Like what makes you tick on a daily basis. Like who are you? What do you think? How do you feel? Like that's what this is about. That's why these conversations are as long as they are, because I want to know it all. Like I want to dive into it. I want to really get to know what makes everything tick. I love it.
For sure.
And what do you do? What do you do to stay so well read? Like what is your way of learning a lot of things? Like what do you do? Like if you want to learn a new topic, what's your go-to? Do you read a book? Do you go down a YouTube rabbit hole?
I'm gonna be honest, man. When I was younger, it was reading.
Okay.
But I think that's because it was just we were prisoners of the times. Like reading was the thing.
That was the thing.
YouTube was more of like
fights.
Yeah, like you went on YouTube, you weren't trying to really get smarter. Bro. You were just trying to burn time.
You remember when YouTube was just street fights?
Yeah, like Kimbo Slice, like that's all World Star Hip Hop fights. That's it. That's all you wanted to see. But I just think like back then I used to read a lot. And it's crazy because I gotta thank my mom because I used to get in trouble a lot. So my mom, she used to have, like I said, whoopings didn't bother me. Yeah. Getting a whooping was honestly like a blessing because I knew I didn't get grounded. You know what I mean? I didn't lose anything. I just got whooped and then it's over. Tomorrow is a new day. I don't have to think about this no more. I already got punished for it and it's over. So like my mom start kind of getting creative because she started realizing like whooping him is not going to change anything. So she would say like, all you're allowed to watch is either the news or Animal Planet. Okay. She'd be like, when you lay down to go to sleep tonight, I don't want to see nothing on your TV but either the news or Animal Planet. Okay. So I'm like 8, 9 years old, and I'm looking at the fucking economic crisis of America and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I don't know what none of this shit means, but you watch it every night, you start learning about it. Sure. You know what I mean?
You start picking up something.
Exactly. You watch CNN every night. You watch MSNBC every night. You start knowing stuff. Then I get to school, my teachers are talking about some shit that has to do with adult things, and I'm like chiming in on it. They're like, the fuck, he's 9 years old, how does he know about this? You know what I mean? So, and then it's like I learned about animals, and then I learned about this and learned about that. Or my mom would say, you only allowed to watch TV Land. Now I can have a conversation with an adult about Three's Company. And I'm 10, I'm 9. This show came out in the 1970s. So it's like you are unknowingly learning so much knowledge and digesting so much knowledge on a daily basis, and you don't even realize it. And you don't realize how beneficial it is until you get, like I said, you get around other people or you get in the circles that might lead you. A simple basic conversation about something that you learned because you watched a fucking 50-minute special on Animal Planet, it might lead you into finding somebody that you connected with that might give you your next 6-figure job, or might give you the jumpstart funding that you need to become successful. So you just never know, man. It's like sometimes just having knowledge can put you where you need to be successful. You won't even realize it. I think that's a huge thing, man.
Dude, it's funny that you talk about your mom punishing you by making you watch Animal Planet because it's funny because this week, so it's no secret. I enjoy my marijuana just as much as the next person.
For sure.
But when I do, I'm lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really counterintuitive for all the shit that I'm trying to do right now and smoke at the same time. Like before the fight, I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke leading up to the fight because it fucks with my anxiety. It fucks with my insecurity. But at the same time, though, it doesn't. Like at the same time, it helps me because the conversation I have with myself when I'm high, like usually I work through those insecurities or I work through those issues, but I do enjoy sitting on the fucking couch just watching anime or whatever it is, right? And so it's funny. So lately what I've been doing is I'll get the bowl out, I'll take 1 or 2 hits and the bowl goes away. That's it. Because it used to be, before the fight, it used to be, all right, let's see how quick I can beat Jesus. Like
non-stop, back to back, reload it.
Let's see how high we can get. And bro, you can't do fucking nothing
at all.
You can't do nothing
at all.
You can't be productive that way.
But you can try, but a lot of times you can fall short.
You can try, but you'll start halfway, and then you'll be like, "Nah, fuck this,"
or you'll forget.
That's the biggest thing.
What you were doing,
bro. Sometimes you just legitimately just forget what you were supposed to do. You had the genuine intention on doing it, but then you just forget.
And by the time you remember, you're like
it's the next day.
Too late.
Yeah,
it's too late.
Yeah. And so what I've been doing is if I do smoke, if I'm gonna watch TV, it's got to be something productive,
educational.
So I put on Nat Geo the other night. I was watching Big Cats in India. For one, I didn't know how many freaking big cats there were in India. I was like, whoa, this is mind blowing. I knew there was tigers, but I didn't know how many different leopards there were. I didn't know all these small cats that were there. They have like feral house cats that are feistier than house cats and slightly bigger, but they live in the wild. I was like, whoa, this is weird. And so it's funny that you bring that up because that's kind of my, not necessarily punishment, but that's my compromise. If I want to get high, I have to do something that's still going to be productive.
Be beneficial to you.
To be beneficial. Because in order to continue to do this podcast, you have to be well-read. You have to be current. Like you have to keep up. Like you have to be able to hold a good conversation. You have to be able to say something meaningful. You have to know what's going on. And you have to have that knowledge. Like we're talking about, knowledge is just everything. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Knowledge is everything. And that's been my compromise. So if I'm going to smoke, I got to do something. I got to do something that. And the biggest thing, you got to start before you smoke. That's another thing too. So turn the Nat Geo on before you hit the bowl.
Then
so that way it's already, that way you already committed.
You're already in it.
Yeah, you already committed. And so it's funny that you say that because I've been doing kind of the same thing to myself. Because I could give it up, but the conversations I have with myself are too important. I feel like there's just some things that I learn about myself when I'm that high, when I'm just like, nah, this is important. Man, this is important.
Some people it's beneficial. Like I said, man, everything affects people differently. Like some people use it and they panic. Like I've seen people use it and they're like, call 911, my heart's about to stop. You know, like I've literally seen people do that.
Sure.
And I've also seen some people where it's like they can do it and their brain zones in. Like I know for me personally, my brain moves really, really fast. I think about a lot of things really, really fast.
Absolutely.
And it's beneficial to me because I'm able to articulate things rapidly. Like I can articulate things without really having any pre-planning or pre-thought. It just kind of flows. But sometimes when I'm not articulating vocally, those ideas and thoughts are still running 100 miles an hour in my head. And sometimes it gets stressful. And that's when I get anxious and, you know, I'll be in a...
Do you write? You write stuff down?
I write stuff in my notes. I think my notes on my phone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is a big thing for me. Like
what kind of stuff? Do you write down anything like other than like whether it's for rap or for clothing or whatever it is? Do you write anything else down? Like do you jot down like
Ideas. I think ideas and a lot of... Recently, I've wrote down what I'm feeling.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, like sometimes you do have to write it down
though.
because I feel like sometimes you don't really. It's hard for other people to understand. You know what I mean? And I talk to my mom a lot. My mom is like she's like my guide.
Is she still in clean?
Yeah, she's still in clean. My mom is like my guide, man. My mom is super beneficial to me because my mom helps me through everything. You know what I mean? Like, she's experienced so much in her life. She's dealt with a lot of things. She's seen a lot of things. She's experienced a lot of things.
She just knows what to say.
Yeah, and she even if she doesn't know, she can kind of help me get on the right path to figuring out what it is that I need to give myself peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Or relieve myself of a stress or a burden that I have that I'm struggling with at that time in my life. So she tells me, she writes a lot of stuff down. She journals and things of that nature. And my mom is always so, she's always so open to learning different ways and methods and ideas and just different things she can do to deal with her everyday life. You know what I mean? She doesn't stay closed-minded and thinking, oh, I won't try this or I won't do this, or whether it's therapy, whether it's spirituality, whether it's prayer, whether it's taking notes in a journal and working it through, or group talking, or whatever the case may be. She's always, open to learn things so that she can pass it on to others, mostly her kids, because we all have a real close-knit relationship with my mom, and she helps all of us a lot. But just sometimes in a moment, you don't know how to emotionally deal with something or think about something or look at something, and you can always come back once you kind of grown a little bit, and you can look back at that situation like, man, I could handle this differently, or I could take this on a different way, or handle it a different way. And sometimes I'll go back and I'll solve a problem that I had 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because I was able to talk to different people about it and get other people's perception on it, and not so much beat myself up about it because I couldn't figure it out in that moment. So I think that's a big part of it for sure.
Fuck, dude. For sure. I'm loving this episode. I'm fucking loving it. This is my favorite. We're not even done. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I'm fucking loving it. I mean, you got me over here fucking just cheesing, bro. Like, you were, man, like, powerful. It was powerful. I love it. I appreciate that, dude. Fuck, man. That's cool, because, like you said, I think it is important to write that shit down, because it helps you break it down to, am I being a bitch, or is this a legit feeling? Mm-hmm. Or like, am I not really feeling this way? Do I just think I feel this way? And when you can write it down, put it on paper, put it in front of you, and you can come back to it or dissect it in a different mindset, or not mindset, but in a different time. And you can break it down. You're like, no, this is what I should do.
For sure.
This is what I should do. No, this is the path. This is the way. Oh, no. I wasn't really feeling that way. That was just something silly. And I started doing that right before the fight. I started writing down in a notebook. I write in it every night or every morning, just depending on which one. And that shit helps. Just put it on paper. Just put it on paper. And sometimes it's as simple as just writing down, hey, today was a dope ass day. Sometimes it's all sometimes it's all you gotta take yourself.
It in. Sometimes, and I think a lot of times, man, it's really easy to beat yourself up about certain things.
Absolutely.
Man, sometimes you're just going through some stuff, man. And once you work through it, you look back and you realize, man, things weren't that bad.
No.
It's just in that moment, I was emotionally or, mentally, I was frustrated because I couldn't figure this out, or I couldn't accomplish this, or I couldn't get this down, or this didn't work out in my favor. Whatever the case may be, sometimes you don't realize that the ins and outs of your everyday life affect your mental in a big way. So you might go into work and you might be the happy-go-lucky guy every day, but then you're going through something personally.
Mm-hmm.
So you start thinking nobody likes you at work. You know what I mean? Like, but in reality, it's like, no, nobody is looking at you differently at work. It's the same, but you're just feeling a certain way. You feel a certain way on the inside. And it's like that sometimes. And sometimes it gets difficult, man. Life gets overwhelming.
Yo, life is hard.
And it doesn't stop. It doesn't matter who you are.
Doesn't.
I've never seen anybody die and the world stops.
No.
They might stop for a second. Like Michael Jackson.
Shit, hey, Kobe Bryant was close.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? But it's like, at the end of the day, you can't call your boss and say, oh, man. But your boss isn't going to understand you saying, man, Kobe Bryant died yesterday. This guy could have been your hero as a kid. This could have been somebody you looked up to your entire life. But life doesn't stop because someone died or someone isn't around or someone falls off or they're not as successful as they used to be. Whatever the case may be. Life doesn't stop for anyone. So sometimes you got to live life, experience things, write things down, come back to it. And sometimes you'll see like, bro, I was just tripping.
I was tripping.
You know what I mean? Like, I was pissed off that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad day. Started off, motherfucker almost rear-ended me on the highway on the way to work. Then I got to work and motherfuckers was sending me emails first thing when I get into the office. And then got off, me and my girl was arguing. Then shit, I don't know, like your dog took a shit in the house when you got home. Everything just starts playing in and it seems like the universe is against you.
Yep.
And I think that's a big thing, man. That's why when you write things down, or if you just take a second to breathe, sometimes I just breathe. I just close my eyes and I just breathe. Go out on my patio, on my balcony, and I'll just breathe. Take in the air, chill, come back in, then I'll deal with whatever I'm dealing with. Because you wouldn't believe, man, how your energy in a moment can affect everything and everybody. You'll be an asshole to everybody. Don't even mean to be. It's just because you're dealing with something in that moment.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think that's a big thing.
I feel that sometimes, man. I mean, it's easy to get like that at work because we deal with some ridiculousness, and it's really hard. Like my job currently has given me the opportunity to do everything that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. It pays for both gyms. It pays for the ability to afford the items that you see and hear in order for the two of us to run this podcast. Like it allowed me to buy this house that I'm flipping. It allowed me to invest all my money in crypto and the stocks. It allowed me to do all these things. And it is really hard sometimes to take that step back and be like, damn, like it ain't all that bad. Because when you're in the moment and you greet that customer that's just a complete twat, you're just like, man, fuck this shit. Fuck, like goddamn,
for sure. Because you feel like, why do I got to deal with this?
Yeah, why?
This isn't a necessity. Like I don't have to deal with this. I'm choosing to deal with this.
Hey, that's true. Anytime someone's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, work sucked." Nah, don't be sorry. I choose to go to that place of employment each and every day. Mm-hmm. I choose to do that. It is my choice to go there. Do I bitch about it? Yeah, sometimes, but it's still my choice to go there. Mm-hmm. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry that I gotta go there. Like,
for sure.
It's still paying the bills.
Man, in the words of Kanye West, he said, to whom much is given, much is tested. I think that holds true in everything, man. Everything you do, you have to sit back sometimes. Everything you do, you gotta sit back sometimes. You gotta think. How many people would give anything to be in this situation?
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, there are so many people in fucked up situations, and it's not even always their fault. Some people don't work hard enough. Granted,
sure.
Some people, they are willing to do the work, they are willing to put it in, but they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the resources, they don't have the opportunities. They didn't get a chance to go off and go to college and get that experience and meet new people and learn how to, like we said earlier, learn how to move through different crowds and move through different circles of people. Because at the end of the day, you had to go to an interview and you had to sell yourself to get to where you are. I had to go to an interview. I had to sell myself to get to where I am. I had to sell my personality and who I am as a person. Some people aren't good at articulating themselves. Some people aren't good. They can have everything they need on paper, but they can't articulate themselves correctly. It's so many little things that we have to be happy about. We got to feel blessed because there's so many people who could have been somebody and could have been successful, but they just didn't have one thing. They have one thing, maybe a couple things that if they had that, they would be right where you are right now. So it's like sometimes we get caught up in ourselves and we got to take that step back and say, man, thank you. Like, I'm thankful for this because I could be broke. I could be without a college degree. I could be living with my mom right now. You know what I mean? There's so many things you could be asked out on. For real. And we get so caught up on what we should have that we don't think about what we do have and where we are.
It's tough.
And that's real difficult, man. It's hard sometimes.
It's tough. I feel like that quote, I feel like that quote just answered a question that I've been asking myself a lot lately. It's like when you do those things, when you do those certain things that you do just for your own personal morals, there ain't nobody else around. There ain't nobody else watching. You do it for yourself. Like when you're in the break room at work and you drop a piece of, you drop some lettuce on the floor. And you know there's someone there whose job it is to clean the floor. But yet there's no one else in the break room, just you. You still pick up that piece of lettuce and you throw it away. And when you do those kinds of things, and I've been asking myself a lot lately. I had this conversation with a guest who was on 2 episodes ago. His episode drops on Monday. I was having this conversation with him in the parking lot. I was like, man, like, what do we get? What do we get from constantly doing the fucking right thing? Like, what do we get? Like, I'm still here. I'm still working in this place that I don't really enjoy, like, or that I perceive that I don't enjoy, right? What is it? Like, I'm doing everything right. I am that person that picks up that lettuce when nobody else is around. I stop at the red light at 4 a.m. when no one else is around, when you can just run that bitch. Like, I do those things, and sometimes you get so frustrated with life, and you just start asking yourself, man, like, why the fuck can't I just fuck off like all these other motherfuckers? Just start treating people like shit. Why don't I just treat people like people treat us retail workers? Like, why don't I just start treating people like that? But that quote, man, I feel like that answers that question. It's just like you just gotta keep going down the right path because it's all gonna come full.
It's easy, man. It's very easy to do the wrong thing.
It's easy to fuck off.
It's so easy to do the wrong thing, bro. Like, and I'm not gonna sit here and say like there's some gifting system from the whatever higher power you believe in. Because there are shitty people that are successful. There are people who are shitty individuals. They have terrible moral compass. They will step on anybody. They'll do anything. They'll break any rule just to be successful. But the thing that fucks those people is your internal struggle. Internally, that shit will eat you up. I don't care who you are. You can act like you don't give a fuck that nobody doesn't like you. You can act like you don't give a fuck that, you're a shitty person to everybody and you step on everybody to get yourself ahead. But at the end of the day, it gets lonely when you're a bad person. When you're a good person, you have a good spirit, and you have a good moral compass, and you still, like you said, you do the right thing. Nobody has to appreciate you, but that fucking maintenance worker is going to appreciate you. That janitor is going to appreciate you. Because when they come in there, they realize, damn, these are some good people in here, man. These people at that other building, man, they throw shit all in the trash. You know what I mean?
They miss.
Yeah, they
miss.
They get shit all over the floor. They piss all on the floor.
Yeah, when you walk into the bathroom and there's paper towels next to the trash can.
Exactly. So it's like that person appreciates you. You know what I mean? Sometimes it don't gotta be a whole audience that appreciates the things that you do. Sometimes it just gotta be one person, man. And that one person can turn into 10 people. If you do good things all the time, people will start realizing and kind of putting the title of, man, that's a good dude. Man, that's a genuine dude. Man, that's a real dude. Like, you don't do it to impress people. You don't do it to get gratification. You do it because that's who you are. And you being that person becomes what you're known for. Being a good dude. Being a solid dude. You don't got to make everybody happy. You don't got to please everyone. But the people that you do good things for and you do good deeds towards, it's going to be reciprocated to you, like I said, in the universe.
And they're never going to forget it.
Never. And they'll do you a favor. Them be somebody that 5 years down the line, that dude was this at that time, but now he's this and he remembers you. He helps you out. You know what I mean? So you just never know. I mean, it's just good to do the right thing. I'm not saying I always did the right thing, but it's good to do good by people.
But like you said, I mean, but there's everyone's gonna fuck up. We've all done the wrong thing. For sure. We've all done something we shouldn't have done. But it's that ability to self-reflect. It's that ability to go home that night, put your head on your pillow, and be like, "Damn,
I shouldn't have did that.
I shouldn't have did that."
For sure.
Or, "Damn, I should apologize to that person tomorrow."
For sure.
And when I see them, I'll apologize.
For sure.
Those things that just eat you up, and what separates the good people from the bad people is the people that go up to that person and apologize. Damn, hey, my bad. Like the other day, I left my shit on the counter. That was my bad. Like that. That's hard to do too.
Pride.
Yeah.
Swallowing your pride.
It's hard to do that. It's hard to go up to that person and be like, "Hey, I fucked up the other day."
For sure. And to me, I feel like now at this age, I'm a lot better at that.
Sure.
Than I was before when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I had a very I don't care. Like, I didn't care if people thought I was an asshole. I just didn't. It didn't matter to me. I felt like the most important thing was me being honest all the time. And there's nothing wrong with being honest, but sometimes it's about the delivery of your honesty. Sure. You don't want to harm people with your bluntness. You don't want to harm people and hurt their feelings with your transparency. It's not always good to be transparent if it's going to be hurtful to others. So, and that's something I had to learn because I felt like being real was more important than anything else.
Sure.
And it's like, you still got to be real, but you still got to understand that everybody's human. You know what I mean? Like, just think about how you would feel if somebody told you about yourself right then and there in front of everybody and called you out or whatever. Sometimes it's okay to say, "Hey man, I'm sorry about that, bro. This is what I was feeling. I was feeling this way, and that's why I came at you like that. And I shouldn't have took that route, and I shouldn't have did it that way. So I just want to come to you face to face and apologize. And I just want to let you know this is why I felt this way. And if you got any, suggestions on a solution or how we can resolve this in a good way, let me know. And be open to talk. Be open to listen. Be open to digest why they did what they did. They might have unknowingly did what they did. Didn't even mean to offend you. And now y'all are good. Y'all are on good terms. But if you'd have just been that asshole to just try to prove a point with what you're saying and make them look stupid, you never really solve anything, and it makes the situation worse.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part.
That's still something I'm working on. Like that's still something that, I'm definitely conscious of that. Like being too blunt. For sure. Being too truthful.
For sure.
And finding that delivery. That's the biggest thing. Is how you say things. And that's definitely something I'm conscious about and something that I work on, because you don't really want people to not like you. For sure. Like, nobody does. There's certain times where you're just like, you really don't give a fuck. You're like, "Hey, look, man, like, I've tried. Yeah. Like, I've tried 6 times. Like, you just, whatever. I clearly can't make you happy." And then at that point, you're like, "All right, whatever, fuck it." But for the most part, you really don't want someone not to like you. Yeah. Especially like people you work with, people in your circle. Like,
you gotta see them all the time.
Yeah.
You just don't want to come off as the guy who's the asshole. And I was labeled as that for a while. Like, it was points in my life where I probably was the asshole to a lot of people. And at times you don't care and it doesn't matter. But as you get older, you mature a little bit, man. You start realizing, man, it's not good to be disliked. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't, like we said earlier, you catch way more bees with honey or flies with honey, however people say it. The term changes sometimes depending on who you're talking to, but like, the concept is the same, though. Yeah, the concept is the same. It's all the same basis. The better you are, and not saying you got to be a pushover, but the better you are to people is the more people that will want to flock to you. And you need that in life, man. You need it for emotional support. You need it for support just in whatever your dreams are. You need it in your mental health. Like, nobody wants to feel like everyone hates them all the time. So, like, just being a person that's understanding and willing to admit your faults and your wrongs, and then being able to still reflect on what you've done and still being able to listen to someone else when they've done something that you don't like or you didn't enjoy, not just going off on them. that will get you so much further than just being an asshole and just writing people off right away. And I can say that because I've experienced both sides. I've been the asshole to just, well, fuck you. I don't want to be your friend no more. I don't want to be cool with you. I don't want to date you no more. I don't want to talk to you no more. Then I'm now being older, getting closer to, you know, my late 20s. It's like now I'm more like, damn, maybe it was me. Maybe I did something wrong. Let me talk to this person. Let me work it out. And it works a lot better, in my opinion.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to be able to have that, because some people never get that.
Yeah. They don't see the fault in their ways.
Never.
Yeah.
How much do you think marijuana helps with that?
A lot. I think, well,
it's hard. So it's hard.
Not getting upset.
Okay.
I think is a huge part.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting
I think the
upset.
self-reflection comes from marijuana.
I think I've always been self-reflective though, because I feel like I've always been one of those people.
But how long you been smoking for?
Man. So I was like, what 27? Probably like 10 years now. But even when I was younger though, like when I was a kid, like I was able to really sit down with myself and reflect on what I did.
Okay. Yeah.
To kind of be like, damn, I was wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And like I said, and with my parents, like I said earlier, my parents were very open. So they were open the floor to tell me, this is what you did wrong, and this is why it's wrong, and this is why you need to change it. Like, you don't need to look at it this way because we're just punishing you. You need to look at it this way because later in life it'll help you to really think about what you've done and change it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it evolves it. Maybe it takes it to the next level. Maybe it makes you think about, I don't know, maybe it just makes you think more about it.
But we definitely will send you down that. It'll definitely send you down that thought process where you like overanalyze everything. Like, I think of everything like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have took it there. I shouldn't have whatever.
For real, I be thinking about text messages like, damn, I shouldn't have sent that.
Yeah, for sure.
But then sometimes you look at it the next day and you're like, oh, it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah. Or like you'd be like, so you'd be so like geeked up that you like looking at a post. Like, man, should I say that? Or should I post that?
Yeah,
do I look weird?
Yeah.
And then you look at it the next day, you're like, bro, there's nothing wrong with this.
Right?
I could have said this. I could have posted this.
It was fine.
Yeah. Sometimes overthinking, it hurts you, but sometimes overthinking helps you. You know what I mean? It just depends on the situation.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. I think there's that balance. I think sometimes you have to overthink things, but then sometimes you just gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta do it.
For sure.
Man. So you've been getting into stocks and crypto.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going?
It's pretty good, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Crypto has been way more generous to me than stocks.
Yeah, because the stock market's been dog shit since January.
Horrible. I feel like ever since meme stocks have become a thing, stock market has been just completely manipulated, bro. Like,
completely.
But crypto, man, I've seen crypto. It's fucking insane, dude. Like, I've seen more people make more money than I've ever seen normal people make in my life. I've seen cryptos go from 3 cents to fucking $1.16 in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go in and you buy, you know, $2,000-$3,000, you know, for those who have that money to invest, I will say, do not invest money that you do not have. Yeah. Do not make yourself go broke.
This is not financial advice.
Look, this is on YouTube. This is not financial advice. Do not do this if you don't have the money to invest. But I've seen people take $2-3 grand, put it into something that's only worth 3 cents. It goes up to $1.60, $1.70. Then this person pulls out and they have more money at one time than they've ever had. Mm-hmm. And then they pull it, but then they take another 3,000 from that money that they made and they put it into another stock like that, and it goes up. So it's like, if you play your cards right, man, you can run up in a few months. You can run up 60, 70, 80, sometimes $100,000, man, unknowingly. Like, you didn't even have any intentions to, and then it ends up happening for you. So,
especially right now with crypto, I mean, any of them, just
for
pick
sure.
one. Just pick one and hold. It don't matter which one.
For sure.
The guy we had on Wednesday, he's been holding ADA. So he met the creator of ADA. Mm-hmm. Super smart guy. He does clinical trials for pharmaceutical companies. Super intelligent guy. He was at a TED Talk in San Diego. Ran into the creator of ADA in 2016, and he bought ADA Cardano, the coin. He bought it at 0.0003.
Damn. And he still has it right now? Because Cardano is going crazy.
It hit $2.10 yesterday.
It's going crazy. He bought it at less than a penny.
Less than a penny.
Golly. Pause button. Can I use the restroom real quick?
Oh, yeah, you good. I'll hold it down. Yeah,
Okay,
you
cool,
good.
cool,
I'll
cool.
hold it down.
Let me run.
Oh, no, you
like,
good.
nah, man, I don't want
It's right to the left.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. Dude. Yo, Roth.
What's up?
He's killing it.
He's
Killing it.
He's
Killing
like
it.
in my mind, like every thought I have, he's like,
Bro.
He's coming out with it.
He has the perfect balance on every topic.
Yeah.
The perfect balance. Like, he's like the two of us merged together. Like, he literally has the I'm gonna re-listen to this all the time. Like,
So editing this, I think there's, I picked up a few things to make clips out of, for sure.
oh yeah, oh dude, there's been gems throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna chop this one up for sure. I mean, this has been stellar. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite. Like, it's gonna be hard to top this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see how we're gonna top this one. Like, this is too good. Like, I don't even know who we have on for the rest of the year. Just cancel them all. We're ending on this one. We ended on this one. Like, this is it. We wrapping it up right here. We can't top it. Bro, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's been holding it. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
And
For those who are listening.
And I'm back.
He's been holding it for a while, and he's been holding Bitcoin for a while. He's been holding Ethereum for a while. Bro, Ethereum last year was $270.
This dude is, whoever this dude is,
Oh,
he's going to be a rich dude.
he doing all right.
I was about to say.
Yeah, he doing all right. He
Dude
doing all right. He live up here in the hills. Yeah, he doing all right, bro.
He could literally live off those three that you just said. He literally could live off those right now.
Yeah, he doing all right.
Golly.
We didn't get into specifics, but he chilling.
Oh, yeah.
He chilling.
For sure.
Yeah, dude, it's crypto's the future.
Yeah.
And we were talking about in the last episode blockchain technology. And when I think of blockchain, I only think cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much more than crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Blockchain, I was looking it up a little bit today. Blockchain, as he was explaining it, is essentially the Internet 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ability to transmit data,
Mm-hmm.
but it can never be copied.
Mm-hmm.
So it can never be hacked. It can never be not lost, but it can never be compromised. And that when you create that block and you go to send that data to somebody, it's verified by hundreds, thousands, millions of computers instantly. It's a wild thing.
And I think that right now people aren't really seeing the importance of that.
Oh yeah.
Because one thing I like about sites like Coinbase, platforms like Coinbase, they offer you to take classes on crypto in order to get free crypto.
Yeah.
So in me, I just trying to get free crypto and end up learning more.
It's kind of fascinating what they do.
Exactly. But it's smart though, because
Yeah.
it's teaching the consumer about what they're investing their money
And then you're
into.
going to be excited to invest more.
Exactly.
And then they just make more money.
And I think it's just beautiful because I think we haven't even you remember when social media first became a thing in 2009,
Sure.
2010.
With MySpace.
We didn't understand what social media was going
we were
to
just on there putting together a playlist on our profile.
Exactly. You just wanted shit falling on your page on MySpace. That's all you wanted. But we didn't understand it. Bro, really think about this. Twitter is our news outlet.
Yeah.
Twitter is how we figure out everything.
Yeah.
Twitter is how we track sports. Twitter is how we find out what political issues are happening. Twitter is where we get our source of comedy. Twitter is everything. There's so many things and so many different ways that people use Twitter that it's so much more than just a social media platform.
Remember when it was we just used it to roast people?
Yeah, it was just being just the most. What could you tweet with? That was the most just outlandish, wild, just offensive, like whatever, any phobic you want to put.
Yo,
that's what tweets were in
real,
2009 to 2012.
It was wild.
Like literally.
It was wild.
But think about it now. There are people becoming millionaires off Twitter. Mm-hmm. There are people that get one viral video and their whole life changes off social media. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that same cusp that we were on in like the early 2010s of social media is what we are with crypto. Yep. Like, people only see it that, oh, you invest money into this currency, this fake currency, this make-believe currency, and this make-believe currency goes up in value based on how popular it is, and you can make a shitload of money and then you pull out. But people don't realize, like, this can really change the world for people who don't have accessibility to certain things. Like, there could be a first generation citizen in America that has a whole family back home in another country, and they can use this crypto to send money back to them. Yeah, just instantly,
and for free, zero transactional
without all
fees.
of these charges and these fees, transfer fees, what this, that, and the third that they charge you, conversion fees.
Yep, currency exchanges.
Exactly. Yep. You don't have to think about any of that anymore. That is a thing of the past with crypto. And I think that's why I say I don't think we fully digested what it's going to become, because we're so kind of, you know, especially with us being American, we're money hungry. Everybody wants to be rich. So it's like we're more focused on the get rich part, and we're not focused on the life changing part. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you look at like Akon, like you look at the work he's doing in Africa with Acoin, and like him getting money, a line of credit with Asia in order for him to provide resources to Africa, and he's going to create Acoin so that they have a spendable currency that everybody has accessibility to. Like that idea and that concept to me is what crypto is going to become. Yep. Because think about it, how often do you really use paper dollars? Use your debit card or use your Apple Pay it's the same idea. You're using a card, a plastic card that they're telling you all of the money to your name is on this plastic card.
But if you went to the bank, that shit ain't there.
You know what I'm saying? If you went to the bank, let's say you had $100 million on that card, and then you went to the bank and said, okay, sir, I would like my $100 million right now.
Not a chance.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So it's like people kind of completely discredit the idea of this make-believe currency, but it's like, that's what we've been using, man. Yeah. They made a piece of paper and said...
it's all make-believe.
All of it. The value of $1,
make-believe.
They told you this is worth $1. Exactly. They could have made $1 million bill if they wanted to. Sure. They just didn't feel like that's what they wanted to do. They only wanted to stop it at 100. Yep. They could have took it all the way up to a $10,000 bill if they wanted to. So I just think it's going to take some time, but I think crypto is going to make a lot of people rich right now. But I think it's eventually going to become like something that people use. Like people are going to go to the bank, or excuse me, not the bank, but they'll go to the car dealership and say, it's easier for me to transfer you 3 Bitcoins than to come in with $250,000 for a Mercedes.
That's true.
I'll just transfer you 3 Bitcoins and we're good. You know what I mean?
And there's no fee. There's no fee for yourself, and there's no fee for that business. So it completely cuts out, it completely saves everyone so much money in the long term. Like that's
except the banks.
Well, that's why banks are buying in. Yeah, because they're realizing that they're fucked. Yeah, that once this really pops off and once people understand what's happening, they're done.
You either get with it or get lost.
You got to.
Seriously,
you got to, and that's why J.P. Morgan and all them are already dumping in so much money. And everyone's like, so what if it crashes? Like, bro, do you not see how much money's in here already?
But even if it man,
it can't. There's too much money now.
Look at every crypto. Look at if you don't believe it, just download Coinbase. Anybody out there?
And look up the last
download Coinbase and go to any crypto and hit all. Yep. Hit all time. Yep. And you will see every single one of them has a trend of going from a penny or less than a penny, even if it only went up to $1.75, $3 at the month. Imagine if you got into that thing and you put $10,000, 5,000, 1,000, 500 into something when it was less than a penny and it goes up to $3-4. You probably made more money than you've ever made at one time.
Ever. You're talking anywhere from 100K to $1 million. And all you did was just put 5,000, maybe 2,000, 5,000 in there. Like, think about how many people, like, I have a friend who's up 24 grand on Ethereum Classic. He bought it before the jump a couple days ago, a couple weeks, like a week ago. He bought it before the jump. He had it at like $29, something like that. I think he put maybe $1,000 in there, give or take. I don't know the exact amount. And then when it jumped, 23K overnight.
Imagine waking up and you just made 23,000. It's people making their yearly salaries in a day.
Yeah, he's 22 years old. 23K.
And the thing is, that 23K is all profit. He can take 5 of that and put it elsewhere to another one that's going to take off. Like, that's the beauty of this. You get on one platform, you get on Coinbase, it's rapid. Like you said, there's no fees, there's no waiting, there's no 3 to 5 business days. You sell it, you convert it, whatever you want to do, and it can instantly be back in your bank account like that. That shit is the future of the world, bro. You can be at your 9 to 5 job, making thousands of dollars while you're on the clock, and to the point that you're like, I don't need this job no more.
Deuces.
What do I gotta be here for? And I think that's what's gonna change the world, man. Like, the fact that, but like, what do you gotta go to college for? And not to say that people shouldn't go to college, because there are
be all.
Yeah, if you're not in a specialized, there's not a specialized reason you're in school. And you can learn crypto, you can learn day trading, you can learn other things that are crafts that are easily teachable, which it is. Nobody, everybody has the capability of sitting down and learning. If you can learn these things, bro, you'll save yourself a lot of debt, and you'll make yourself a lot of money earlier in life than most people. Because a lot of people, the extent of their investments in their stocks is whatever they get through their job. So whatever their job invests their money into and is in their 401k or their portfolio from their job, that's the extent of their investment. So a lot of people just work with the intentions of, well, when I'm 60, when I'm 55, I'll have $100,000 to live my the second part of my life with. And it's like, bro, that's the thing of the past, bro. Like,
it is.
You can make $100,000 in 6 months now off crypto. Seriously, I've seen it.
You put your money in the right place.
Literally.
You put your money in the right place, man. You get a little luck. It takes a little luck and a little bit and some bravery.
Or just Reddit. Get on Reddit. Them dudes on Reddit are some of the smartest dudes I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, that's why the internet is such a terrible disaster. I mean, not terrible disaster, a beautiful disaster. Because there is so much gold on the internet, and there's just so much bullshit at the same time. And you have to be smart enough and also disciplined enough, because it's very easy to get down the rabbit hole of bullshit, because sometimes it's exciting. You're like, ooh, let's see what they said about this, or let's see what they're talking about this. But if you have that discipline to stick to this side of the beauty and the gold, boy,
or be discouraged. You know how many people shitted on Dogecoin, bro? Like, I literally watched like people I was friends with, cool with, shit on Dogecoin. Like, Dogecoin, like when Dogecoin was up, those same people didn't say anything. You didn't see them say anything about it. But the minute Dogecoin fell back down to 32 cents, 34.
Yeah, they were loving it.
Man, y'all are so stupid. How do y'all feel? Hope y'all sold. Y'all dummies really put something in a fake currency.
And then
now look at it.
Right back
to
up.
60.
Right back up.
You get what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like, sometimes you gotta believe in it, man. Like me, I already said, I messed up because I was in Dogecoin when it was less than a penny. It shot up and I got so excited. I was like, fuck, this is never going to happen again. I'm selling it. Sold it. Stayed up. Bought back in. My average is still low, but it wasn't as low as less than a penny. And I wish if I can go back 2-3 months, get a time machine. I would told myself, do not sell Dogecoin. Buy more. Just keep buying more. But hey, it's all a learning process, man. It's new to all of us.
Yeah.
So now I know, like, I'm gonna try to get as many shares of Dogecoin, because if this thing is backed by Elon Musk, I don't care what y'all say about that man. That man's a genius. He's made billions of dollars. So if this man is saying this thing is gonna be the future and this thing is gonna take off, I'm gonna listen to him.
Yeah. I don't understand the Elon Musk hate. I don't get it.
I think people just don't like his arrogance. He's arrogant. He's like Kanye West if he was a white inventor.
But
like, literally.
I don't know though, but is he though? Like, have you listened to his interviews, like with Joe Rogan or any of those?
Yes, but it's like
I don't know if he's that.
The traditional billionaire, right? You won't see them smoking weed on a Joe Rogan podcast.
I think he's the only person that rich that actually cares.
Yeah, but you wouldn't see the traditional billionaire. It's like he's breaking the mold to me of what a billionaire is.
Okay,
you think of billionaire,
I agree with that.
You think of Daddy Warbucks, this guy who's this old, decrepit man that doesn't care about any of the normal working class. He just wants to exploit us to get rich and this, that, and the third. Elon Musk is on Twitter. He's transparent. He's tweeting stuff. He's doing podcasts. He's smoking weed. He dates that Grimes girl. Like, this is not the traditional billionaire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not like he's like a shot in the dark billionaire like Mark Zuckerberg. You know, not to say he didn't work, but he kind of caught a strike of lightning. Like, that social network thing and the Facebook thing, that is something that's like never be, recreated.
It's not gonna be reciprocated.
Yeah, I feel like Elon Musk, this dude is inventing like turbine engines, and he's moving his offices to Austin. He's growing tech. You know what I mean? Everything he does turns to gold.
Yeah. I mean, he's building tunnels under LA. He's doing Neuralink. He's gonna fix so many brain atrophies through Neuralink. Soon we're going to be able to have this conversation without our lips moving, without having to articulate with words. We're going to be able to fully understand each other, because you're going to be able to fully get the person's thoughts. Like, they're not going to have to use words.
All just neurological transmission, nonstop, back and forth.
And you're going to be able to fully understand somebody. And I mean, it's also weird though. Like, at the same time, like, that where we're headed in the future is also kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the things that we're leading into, like the movies we've watched back in the day, they're starting to kind of come true.
For sure.
And you're like, ooh.
But I just feel like the idea of it all, it's like, think about your parents. Like, they watch the Jetsons and all these different TV shows and stuff like that showed them the future. And then you fast forward, it's the future.
Yeah.
And it still isn't here.
Yeah.
I feel like with our generation, so many things have developed in such a short amount of time that, like, bro, just look at everything. Like, look at online shopping. Think about what online shopping was when me and you were 12, 13 years old. You couldn't just go. You didn't have an app that you can get any sneaker you ever wanted ever in life.
No.
You can go on one app and buy every single sneaker you ever wanted in life. You have Amazon that you can think of something, order it, and it's here that same day or the next day. Like, the growth of the internet in a maybe 15 to 20 year time frame,
it's crazy.
Like, I remember when we would get on the internet and dial up internet. Like, the only thing on internet was like the news, porn, like
fights,
like that downloadable content.
Yeah.
Like, and even then, like, if you didn't have a really nice computer that had a good storage, you couldn't download anything. So it's like, to go from that in like 2002 to 2005, I guess, to where we are in 2021 and what you're able to do with the internet and things of that nature, it's like everything is at hyperspeed now with our generation.
Yeah.
And I think, bro, by 2030, man, I don't even know where we'll be.
It's going to be crazy.
Literally.
It's going to be crazy. Because, I mean, there's already people who believe that the typical conception of birth is going to go away soon. Like, that you're going to be able to essentially kind of grow your child in a tube.
Yeah.
Like, you're no longer going to have to give physical birth.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about this last podcast. I didn't even know this was already here. He was already saying that you can already choose your kid's eye color.
Yeah.
You can already choose the hair color. Like,
it's
already there. It's already here.
They alter it in the embryo.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
That's what rich people do, though.
We're already here.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And then you think about it, bro. Think about how many movies we've seen where like they're like human human crops, like where like there's, you know, like in the Matrix where it's like all those human beings inside of those little pods or whatever, and they're living in the Matrix or whatever. Like, the more and more we get into the future is the less and less far-fetched that these, because when you're a kid you're like, bro, this shit isn't real.
It's true.
But it's less and less far-fetched the more we get into the future.
It's true.
So
it's got to be based off something.
Yeah.
Like, you when they come up with these ideas, it stems from something they've seen.
Always.
Something they've done. I use the example of like Greek statues. Clearly dudes back then had to be shredded. You just don't make that statue up. Like, you don't just make up an 8-pack. Like, clearly people back then had to look like that. You just don't make that up. So
then just think about it, like, bro, look at the ideas and the concepts that they had back then, like the Colosseums, the architecture, like all of the architectural details in like certain things. Like, I think we in society don't really acknowledge how much potential we have in our growth. Because I think that keeping people uneducated and keeping people ignorant to what their potential is and what they can really do and become and create is how you keep them under control.
It's called the media.
Yeah. So I think that, like, now it doesn't matter with it. Like, who really, like I said, we get our news from the internet.
Yeah.
And anything that the news tells us, if we don't take it as truth, we have a resource in our hands.
The ability to look it up.
And we can debunk whatever they're saying. Whereas before, you had to kind of take it as law. There was no internet. There was no Google Ask Jeeves or Google. You know what I mean? It was nothing. There was nothing unless you were someone who was well-versed and knowledgeable and read a lot, learned a lot, traveled a lot, seen different things. You really were ignorant to anything outside of what the newscaster told you.
Yep.
I think it's not like that for us anymore. Now, for us in this generation, man, it's like if we think it's bullshit, it's bullshit. And we're not listening to it. Like,
for real.
We're not just taking what
real.
you tell us and that's it.
Now it's just a little bit of laziness. The people's, and I'm guilty of this, and this is something that I've been conscious about lately. If I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, man, I wonder what that word means, or I wonder what this is. Like, I'm sitting there, you know, scrolling through Twitter. Oh, I wonder what that means. And then I just keep scrolling. I'm like, nah, George, bro, close that shit. Go to Google. Look it up right then.
You literally can double tap it, highlight it, hit copy, fucking go to your Rolodex, go to Google, paste it, look it up, and then you got the answer right there. That like, fast.
And that's something I've been so conscious about, because it's really easy to just be like, almost forget how powerful that thing in your hand is. Like, to just scroll through and just be like, oh man, I wonder if that's true. And then just keep scrolling.
And it all comes down to what, in a nutshell, like, what do you want to use that for?
Yeah.
What do you want to use that capability and that accessibility for? And don't get me wrong, I like bullshitting on Twitter and social media and laughing and looking on Instagram. But at the same time, a lot of what I learn and what I know and what I do is off the internet. Like, I learn things from the internet. If I don't know something, I'll teach myself through the internet, through YouTube. Like you said, through YouTube, how-to videos of guys just sitting in front of a computer screen showing you how to do something. Like, for example, I forgot to the guys at the dealership forgot to reset my fucking oil gauge after I went and got an oil change. I literally went on YouTube, They taught me how to reset my oil life, whatever, in my car, and I did it right there on the spot. You get what I'm saying? Like,
and you could have easily took it back to the shop.
I could have easily turned right back around, drove up there, and sat waiting for another fucking 20 minutes while I waited for them to reset that. Yep. I did it right then and there. Literally pulled over into a gas station parking lot, turned my car off, pushed the buttons that they told me to push, started my car back up. It was reset, kept going. It's like, that's how easy it is. Boom. That's how easy and accessible the internet can be in your everyday life if you use it that way. And I think that's a big thing. Wanting to learn and grow and expand your knowledge via your phone instead of looking at bullshit. I don't know, whatever challenge is popular now at this point. And there's nothing wrong with those, because entertainment is also a form of happiness and mental relief and a release from your everyday life. As we talked about
earlier, you gotta, if you have certain goals and aspirations, that has to be limited.
Got to.
It has to be.
Got to.
You can't be successful watching that
all day long. There's no way. Like, I've seen how TikTok, like, I've seen people sit on TikTok for 2 hours and not even realize they've been on TikTok for 2 hours.
You know what was worse than TikTok for that? Vine.
Vine was worse.
There was times where I could be on Vine for 4 or 5 hours.
And not even realize it.
And you're like, how the fuck
did I just watch 300 videos?
Dude, 6-second videos for 4 hours. How? Like, how? You just keep scrolling. Just so consumed. And it's just so easy to do. It's so easy to do that with anything. It's so easy to get on Twitter and just scroll for hours. Like, it's easy.
And it's crazy because, like, these people who create these things, like, I forgot what I was watching.
That's what they want.
I was watching something where they were talking about that. They were saying
on Netflix,
I think documentary. So. Yeah, and it was like the stimulation of your brain.
The social. Hey, Roth, what's that Netflix documentary?
I think that was the name of it.
The Social Dilemma.
And it was like talking about how, like, even like with games and shit, like the finger movements that because they were like, think about it. They were like, look at Tinder. When you like somebody, you swipe up. You know what I mean? You swipe left, swipe right, swipe whatever. Think a Temple Run. When you play Temple Run, what do? Swipe up, swipe left, swipe right. The idea and the concepts that we don't, it's like subconsciously, we don't even realize that they're using and playing in on our subconscious mind.
Dude, you can swipe on Tinder for hours.
Hours. But then think about when we were, 10 years, however many years before that with Temple Run. Yeah. It's the same range of motion as Tinder. It's just now you're an adult. You're looking for love. You're looking for a hookup. You're looking for a date. Back then, you just wanted to play and have fun on the game. But your brain is subconsciously programmed to that. It's crazy, man. That shit is insane.
Well, they know what they're doing.
They want to make money. Yeah, for sure.
They know what they're doing with that algorithm change.
For sure.
Like, taking it out of chronological order. They want you to scroll through so that you can see what you're looking for.
Swipe, double tap. Swipe, double tap. Get on somebody's story, swipe. You don't want to watch the story, swipe. Tap. Think about every game. Angry Birds. Pull back, swipe, tap. It's all in our subconscious mind, and we don't even realize it. Yeah, and it's like that's one of those moments where you're like smoking, and you're like, damn, bro, that shit makes sense. That makes sense, bro. Like they're telling the truth with this. So,
it does
for sure.
It does, and that's when you're like, man, I gotta take a step back.
Oh yeah,
I gotta take a step off. Like, gotta back up. I gotta just post what I gotta post. And then move on with my day. Because once you get down that rabbit hole, it's a wrap. Like 30 minutes gone. Boom. Instantly. You're like, damn. Well, that's 30 minutes. Like, especially when you wake up in the morning. First thing you do, grab your phone. Checking in. Next thing you know, you just laid in bed for an extra 45 minutes. You're like, damn, what was the point of even waking up this early? I should have just slept longer.
And then even when you disconnect, I feel like when you disconnect from social media, you don't realize, like, it'll be times where I'll just go like 2 weeks without Twitter. Just to prove to myself I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't realize how connected you are to this until you sit there and you're like, damn. If I don't have Twitter or Instagram, I don't even know what the fuck to do with myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk to that many people in the normal conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you almost feel like you're bothering people when you reach out to them.
For real.
They like, what's wrong? Is something going on? Because, like, you're so used to your bulk of your day being consumed and taken up by Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever it is. That social media has you so, or even just, for me, just scrolling shit online, like looking at clothes, looking at shoes, looking at things to spend money on. Like, you don't realize how much of that shit consumes your brain until you try to not do it. And then you're like, damn, what do I do when I'm not doing this stuff? Like, I don't have anything else. I can go to the gym, but that's only going to take up 2-3 hours. You know what I mean? I can go watch a movie or watch like a documentary. That's only gonna take up 2-3. It's 24 of them in a day. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it consumes your mind without you even knowing it. Yeah, sometimes
it does
for sure.
And then it just, next thing you know, that's what we were talking about earlier, when those days just start flying by. Flying by. That sucks. Like, you don't want that. You don't want to wake up and you be 40 next, like, before you know it. Like you said at the very beginning of this, you get one shot at this. You get one of these, presumably. You get one of these. One shot. Why waste it doing very meaningless things? Like, do what it is that makes you happy. Put yourself out there. Take those chances. Take those risks. Do those things. Like, do whatever it is that you want to do, and just do it. Do it for you. Like, you got to, because you're gonna wake up one day, be like, damn, I'm 40,
and I don't have nothing to show for it.
I got nothing.
And that's the biggest thing, man. Like I said, some people are just born with it. Some people are just born like Kanye West. There's not another Kanye West.
No.
I don't think I've even ever met anybody else named Kanye.
No.
And if you ever meet somebody named Kanye, it's because they're named after Kanye West. You get what I'm saying? It's like, some people are just born and it's ordained from somewhere that they're going to be somebody. Like, that's why when you hear these stories about certain people, they're like, oh man, when he was like 7, he like started his own lemonade stand and he was like making money in the neighborhood. And you're like, what the fuck? A 7-year-old was making, you know, all this money off of lemonade? Like, that 7-year-old had the forward thinking, and they had those tools that they needed to like already envision success. And it's like, certain people is just in them. It's just born in them. They know that they're going to be ordained to be somebody great. Some people it has to be groomed. Some people it has to be a spark. It has to be awakened in them.
And I think that's most people.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, not that they lack confidence, but they don't see it in themselves. Yeah. Because everybody looks at themselves like, when they're younger, like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a movie star. Then life kind of takes that out of you. Life kind of forces you to be more realistic in your goals and your dreams. And I think if people just dedicated a little bit more into accomplishing those things, and they dedicated a little bit more time in believing in themselves, man, there'd be so many more successful people than it is now.
Oh, for sure. What's that really good quote? It's you're too busy being scared of yourself while everyone else is intimidated by your potential. Something, I know I butchered that, but it's something along those lines. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
For sure.
It's exactly what it is. Like, other people see it. You have to see it, because that's the only way anything changes. Like, other people can try to tell you all they want, but you have to truly believe it. You have to truly see it, and you got to truly make that conscious change. And you got to do it. Like, you got to do it. Like, again, you just got to do it for yourself. I was gonna say there's something else. Damn, man, oh man. Nah, dude. I mean, I think for one, I think this episode is powerful. They're going to look at this. They're going to be like, man, look at this dude. He got a ski mask on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
Bro, I think that's what makes this so good. I think that's what makes this episode so good. Because I haven't seen you in years.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to expect either. I didn't know if we were going to sit here and just kick the shit, if we were just going to joke around, if we were going to get deep, if we're not going to get deep, like what are we going to talk about? I didn't know either. No, but I just, and then people looking at the picture, like, man, this motherfucker, what got a goddamn ski mask on? Like, the fuck is this, Narcos? And then they're going to start listening to it. Because we kicked it off right off the bat. They're going to start listening to it and be like, oh. And then I listen to it and be like, oh, shit. And it just goes to show for anything, man. You can't judge nobody for nothing.
At all.
Nobody for nothing, dude.
It's depth, man. Even under you can meet a homeless person. That homeless person has a story. Mm-hmm. There's a story before this man was sitting on this corner begging you for $1 or whatever. He's been through something. He's been somewhere. He's seen things, and he's probably seen things that you wouldn't even imagine, because look where he is now. That's why I say, man, like, some people have this idea that, like, I can't learn anything unless it's somebody that's more successful than me. And it's not always like that, man. You can learn from anybody.
Anybody. Man,
anybody.
That's a big thing. When someone's like, for instance, if I try to give someone gym advice, I'm not the biggest dude, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. To an extent, I have a very general, basic knowledge where I can help most people. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes they don't want to take your advice because you're not this ginormous, swole bodybuilder. It's like, bro, 9 times out of 10, those dudes are being coached by somebody. And
then 9 times out of 10, they're not doing the most healthy and best practices for your body. They're putting a beating on their body to bulk
for a show.
Yeah,
they're doing a sport.
Yeah,
it's just like someone in the NFL
for sure.
They might not know how to work out the best just because they're in the NFL.
They're just lifting the heaviest.
Yeah, like they're just the fastest. They're the strongest. Mm-hmm. They're X, Y, and Z, and it's just that doesn't mean that they know the best. Mm-hmm. Like. Some people are just better coaches than they are doers. Like, some people can just tell you how to get somewhere way better.
Look at every boxing coach for the most part.
Hey, dude.
They don't look like athletes.
Right? But shit, they can coach you up in boxing.
But they coach some of the greatest athletes in the history of boxing. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is, man. Sometimes people miss out on a blessing because of the packaging. I think that's one of the biggest things in the world. And I was like, I'm not going to act as if I'm above that, because I used to be like that. Absolutely. I used to feel like,
we all.
What can you tell me? You know what I'm saying? You don't have this, and you never done this, and you never did that. And also at the same time, everybody can tell you how to do it, and they never did it.
That's true.
It's all about balance, knowing what to digest and how to digest it. Sometimes somebody can feed you 80% bullshit in a conversation, and 20% of it can
gold.
Change your life. 20% of it can be something that you need, that can be a puzzle piece that you take 20% from this guy's conversation, 40% from this guy's conversation, 90%, and from you just gathering all these gems from all these different people, and all these things that you can learn, and all this knowledge that you can receive and digest. You can put together your scheme for your story. Like, you don't even realize, man, every day that we wake up and we're still alive, it's another page in our story. So it's like, that first 3 chapters might have been shit. You could have been broke. You could have been unmotivated. You could have been just down in the dumps, going through tragedies, whatever. But then once you get to chapter 8, 9, 10, that's when the success story takes off. So it's like, don't count yourself out because the beginning of your novel of your life wasn't what you intended it to be. Because it, like I said earlier, it's never on your time. You might have think it was supposed to happen in this first 3 chapters, but the shit don't happen to the last 8 chapters of the book, 7 chapters of the book. You know what I mean? You expect the climax at this point, but the climax of the book don't come till this point. Yeah. And as long as you understand that, man, and the reason why I kind of emphasize on that is because it's so vital and so important for you not to count yourself out early on and let the process work itself through, because you'll be so much happier when you make it to a certain point and you're able to look back and be like, damn, I remember when I was this. I remember when all I was this. I remember when all we had was this situation when we were doing the podcast. Now you own a fucking studio. You know what I mean? You're like the next Joe Rogan. You like whooping people ass in Muay Thai and then coming back into the studio and doing, you know what I mean? Your podcast, you and the guys you started with, the people who were there at the very beginning. And it's like, I would love to see that because I love to see people's success stories. So man, I just say everything we talked about today, I hope can help somebody. I hope they can listen and it helps them in some way.
I don't understand how anybody how you could listen to this episode and not take something wonderful from it.
For sure.
Bro, like this whole thing was a gem from the start, from the jump. Like you literally spoke. When you went to the bathroom, that's what we were talking about. Like your mindset is beautifully balanced because you can see both sides, and that's so important. And that's what that's where we're at with these very strong tribal mentality. You versus them, me versus them. That mentality is so strong right now that not everybody can just take a step back and be like, okay, I see what you're saying. And I see what you're saying. Let's try to find this.
That middle ground.
Let's try to find this. We got to find this. Because y'all ain't doing nothing on this. Like, y'all ain't helping nobody. Even if you're right and you're not right, or you are both right, you're not helping anybody by just being on the side. Like, you got to find that middle ground.
Like I said, you can't block people in real life.
No.
Man. There is no blocking somebody if you don't agree with what they say or you don't like what they say. Because sometimes, shit, we don't always like the truth.
Sure.
I don't want anybody to get... Somebody comes and tells you about yourself, you're not going to like it, but sometimes you need it. You know what I mean? And I think it's like we said, it's so many different factors in life. Your upbringing, how you were raised, whether or not you played sports, because I think sports plays a big role. And I wouldn't even say sports, whether or not you had something in your life that taught you a certain level of discipline, and a certain level of strategy and being strategic and deeper thinking and deeper thought. Because a lot of people, they aren't taught critical thinking skills. They have to develop those critical thinking skills at a point in life where it's honestly almost too late. You know what I mean? You fucked off your 20s and sometimes your early 30s because you just didn't know how to critically think things over. You just made bad decisions because you're reacting off emotion all the time, or you're just going off of what somebody said to you and you interpreted it the wrong way. But you don't take that time to sit back and critically think and analyze and talk it over. You just action right away. And I think it just takes time, and the earlier that you can develop those characteristics and those character traits is the better and more successful you can be. So if you are listening to this, man, just be open to listening to people. Be open to developing your mind. Be open to accepting the blessings that you sometimes don't see right away. You know what I mean? Whether it's just that conversation real quick at the mall, or whether it's sitting down at a podcast and somebody offers you the opportunity to just give your knowledge and receive knowledge. Anything it is, take that, learn from it, and try to mold your life and develop your life based upon the things that you get to receive from people. And that's a huge thing, man. It'll get people so much further in life than being naive and being and kind of denying or kind of deflecting what people are trying to give them, the gems that they're trying to give them. So for sure, that's a big, huge part of it.
Boom. I couldn't said it any better. We're going to end it on that.
I like that.
That was beautiful.
Of course, man.
Boom.
I appreciate this,
dude,
for real, man. I'm glad that I could come down.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for driving down here. This wouldn't have been the same virtual.
Nah.
It wouldn't have been
That's
the
why
same.
I had to come, man. I had to pull up.
It wouldn't have been that same. It wouldn't have had that same fire.
For sure.
It wouldn't have. And, man, it means the world that you drove down here. I haven't seen you in years.
Of course.
And that's crazy.
And I remember I think the last time we were hanging out, like, we were waking up at like 6 in the morning, going on posts, working out together and shit. Like, way back. I think that's before we even both left for college and shit.
Yep.
It's
been since before college. I don't know if maybe I've seen you in between, but that I remember just around high school.
Yeah, it was like I
into
think
high
it was like
school.
that summer, and we were going up to I can't even remember the name of that gym. It was that CrossFit gym
Yep.
you were going to, because I
Yep.
think you were just doing CrossFit, and I start meeting you up there like 6, 7 in the morning to work out CrossFit and shit with you to get ready for football. For sure.
Dude, good old times, man.
Of
We gotta
course.
speaking of which, what are you doing tomorrow morning?
I'm gonna be in Austin all weekend.
You want to work out tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'm not tripping.
I think we're doing strongman at the gym.
All right, I'm here. Like I said, I'm
bet.
here.
Well,
Just let me know.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah,
Cool.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, go ahead, plug everything. Plug the music, plug the clothing line, the website, the Twitter, whatever you want to plug. Plug it.
Twitter, Instagram, same thing. Black Kennedy, BLVCKKENNEDEY. Yeah. And then Without Sin is the EP. You can look it up. My name on Apple Music, Spotify, all of the platforms is KNDY period. That's capital KNDY period. It's Kennedy for short. It's like abbreviated. And then Without Sin EP is the mixtape. Black Kennedy Clothing is the clothing line. Man, I think that's it, man. And follow me.
Hey, follow him.
Look, follow me.
Follow 'em.
Look at me. I got photos, music, clothes. I try to do everything, man. I try to be a jack of all trades.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it, man. I
Of
love
course.
it. This is fun.
Of course,
I enjoyed
man.
it. We got to do this shit again.
Of course, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Anytime you ask me, I'm gonna show up
Hey, fuck yeah. We'll do it again.
for sure.
All right, guys. That's Norman Crawford right there, baby. Boom.